Just because I probably doodle. I've actually literally had this song running on a loop almost all day though. Despite having the fact that I took like a break very shortly into animating and telling you I was trying to work on it, I got off track and still left it looping anyways because I was hoping it would work, and it kind of did once or twice for a few minutes where I had something in my brain. I knock on your stream.
Keep a knocking, but you can't come in.
Aw, okay.
But you can't come in. Keep knocking, but you can't come in. Come back tomorrow night and try again.
I'm gonna share my chat to no one then. It's kind of funny.
There you go.
Hi. Even though I'm already here. Hi. May I show you what I've drawn? Done. Both.
Sure. Are you doing on Discord or should I watch your stream?
Whichever one you think is best. I don't know. You said it doesn't really break
Discord's, yeah, Discord's probably better.
Okay. I just also don't want to accidentally do breaking your stream. I'm also gonna stop that for a second. Stop moving that. And then immediately place it again. Thank you.
Alright, I'm watching my...
Okay.
Alright.
So I've got... This is the animation itself so far, actually. Which I don't know if this is even going to be the character at the end of the day, so this very shortly is not what she looks like very quickly. And this is just a very short thing that I've done very quick and shortly. Yay, look at that. You can see everything that's happening. And then there's just the word orange above this person. That's it. That's what I've done.
That looks pretty cool.
Thank you. It was a very... I was very productive in like 20 minutes, and then I gave up because I realized I still don't want to... I don't know what I wanted to do. And then I had designs from old characters that I was gonna steal because the star theme, the Starstruck theme. So I was trying to steal it, and that is her. And that's all.
Interesting character.
That's all I did.
That's it.
That's all I've done.
How is your thing with like?
And then I wrote a bunch of junk.
You don't have like a transparent thing.
And I turned it gray.
There it was.
Yeah, I turned it gray.
You made it match the background.
Yeah.
You
can color pick the background. You can color pick freaking anything on your screen. It's very funny.
I never even thought about doing that.
Color pick Spotify. I picked one of the highlight colors apparently. There we go. It's really weird because sometimes it doesn't work like that and sometimes it does. Dang. But it helped a lot because I was thinking about the fact that everybody always says, wow, your characters are so pale. I was like, well, you know, in real life, they're usually not anywhere near that color, but you still be very pale. So I was like, wonder if it's because the background is white. So I made her this color. And I would have originally made her about that color. So it worked. Because I was getting, yeah, just, I don't know, thinking about the fact that that's how that works, I guess. But I don't know necessarily super 100% what to do here with the storyline. Because I kind of want it to be a person that, like, where'd my writing go? I have so many bits. Because it feels like somebody who's just kind of following along behind somebody else. and then is judging them for all of their choices, but then also just makes the same choices, but I can't even do any of that because I don't know what I'm doing. But I want it to be the power A, not power AU, the octagon. Everybody has their powers and secret powers and stuff. So I kind of also wanted her to do something with it. And when she does the starstruck thing, she's using her powers to do something. Because she did it again, whatever that means. She did it again. She used them again. And so did
If
the
you
other
want to give her an
person.
ability, do you know what ability you're giving her?
That's why I was here.
What if she could, like, combust?
Combust?
Like, that's why the oops, I did it again. Like, whenever she gets emotional, she glows like a star and does like a supernova explosion, and it like burns down everything around her, and like accidentally kills people and stuff. But now she's like numb to it because it's happened so often. So it's just like a oops, I did it again.
It's very interesting.
Or if she's like immortal and she has that ability because she's like celestial for some reason, then it makes sense because then she's just like numb to the existence of humanity. She blows up by accident all the time.
Yeah, she kind of feels very
She looks very done with it.
Unexpressive, just kind of yeah, thank you. That's a pretty good way to put it. Kind of the vibe that she has. She doesn't have very big opinions about it, except for kind of like disgust with stuff, I feel. But I also thought like she should have, I don't know, some other person, and they feel like they should be orange. But I don't know if this is even the design I go with, but it feels like it should be.
What's her relationship with the other person? That's going to answer what they should be like.
A really great question. There's so many options. Hi. I just say hi because I saw the thing popping and made noises, and that was my instinctive response.
Am I even with the character? Which one of us? Her? Or me? One of us reminded Raylo of a character.
You with the power idea? Time Man with the power idea.
There's a lot of characters in comics with that type of power. Like Cyclops, that's his whole thing.
I don't know though about it yet. I definitely feel like there should be somebody there who is like the one who gets most of the attention from everybody. I don't know if they are supposed to be like some kind of
it could be a
actor, performer, or something.
It could be the classic dynamic of the neglected, like twin that is never popular versus the twin that is popular.
Mm-hmm.
And having the palettes of like the dark and light could represent like how the one chick's like purplish, she's like more like the night, where like she's alone but she's like more like reserved, and then the one that's like the sun is the other one because they're orange, so they're brighter.
Yeah, see, I was gonna have it as well because I wrote stars versus sun. Haha.
Well, the sun is a star.
Yeah, but I just meant like the aesthetics. Stars. Starstruck. It just constantly thank you for the dragon care. Sending them off into battle.
Is June taking care of the dragon again?
Yeah, well, battling it. Yeah. I don't know, it was one of the ideas was that, and then I don't know, I feel like there should be kind of like some kind of fight between them where she's just subtly doing something to them. I don't know, can't figure it out though. So I've just been spitting back and forth all day on staring at it and writing it over and over again and deleting it. Ah.
Let's just stop watching here. gonna stop watching your thing so I don't hear it.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, you're fine. There's no reason for you to apologize. I just had to stop so you know I wasn't watching.
Thank you. Hmm. Hmm.
How should we? I need to sign a character real quick. It would be.
Hmm.
I like the idea though. Real out. It sounds like an endgame Risk of Rain run. To be honest with you, just everything's dying around him. Right, there's that.
Okay.
Here's it's supposed to be like a fake person, anyways.
Hmm.
Lurkin, Shadia's Lurkin. Powers. It's from alien supercomputer parasites. So it's like a blue beetle. That's literally that's what blue beetle is. Like exactly. It's just that. It's an alien supercomputer parasite that melds to you and tries to take over your mind, but he was too good of a person, too pure of heart or whatever, naive, whatever you want to call it. And it made it to where he was able to resist the bloodlust of it. It's supposed to like weaken a civilization or whatever and make you kill people. I loved him so much. What song is playing? It's here. I don't know anything, Shadias, about Spamton. I guess save work is probably smart. I've yet to play Deltarune. I mean, I guess I know that much about him. Here, let me hear what you guys listening to. I don't hear the Spotify.
We won.
Rinse and repeat. Probably the song before this. Oh, Garden. I will play it at some point. I was thinking about replaying all of Underworld not Underworld, Undertale, like as like a marathon on stream sometime maybe, and then Deltarune after. Because I love Undertale. It's one of my favorite games. I've beaten it all. I beat Genocide and Pacifist full route. I've done pretty much everything in the game. The only complaint I have about Undertale is I think it should have a boss rush mode. Because a lot of times I just want to play the bosses. They're not that hard to get to in Pacifist, but walking through all the enemies and doing all the dialogue again gets tiring. Yeah, Guardian Rinse Repeat is so good. I don't know free reveals. Scroll Patrol's my favorite. It's a lot of good ass music. So I'm playing. Did Deltarune ever finish? I always remember it just being like, I'm sure it is by now.
I feel like that's a good way. I felt like I saw something about something, but I didn't know anything. Ha ha ha.
So I was supposed to collaborate? We can invite you to ours. Here. Unless are you not trying to knock? I know you're fine. Although we are doing a kind of a cohesive challenge, to be honest. If you wanted to link your stream, you could. Chapter 3 and 4 is... Yeah, so it's not even finished. That's what I was waiting for, is for Deltarune to finish. Yeah, no. Just let me know if you have any cool ideas. How's your stuff going, Random?
I'm
You still
so
sleepy?
stuck between. I feel like I'm walking right in circles around what I actually want it to be. And I'm still sleepy, yeah.
How do you show someone laughing like a closed teeth laugh? I don't
Like
know. I don't think I know how to do that.
a smile and just make their like shoulders and stuff go. I
Yes,
would
that's
imagine.
it.
Also have good stream.
Yeah, you too. Expect to rate in an hour. I will. You'll be able to see the new. Hopefully, the new alert works. Here, I'll go give you a
Oh,
lurk as well.
yeah. A little shouldery doo 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 doo. That's my best guess.
I think you're right with that. It is body. That's my problem right now with animation is I don't do enough stuff like this, like emotion stuff. An idea based around your character. Huh. I'm excited to see. That's so far been the coolest part of doing all the streaming stuff, is that knowing that I'm actually inspiring people to draw and stuff. It's so cool to me. There's been a number of people who said that they were too afraid to get into it and they've started, and it's just, I don't know. That's the best possible situation. Getting other people into it. I like That's super happy. I love how many cool ass things people do with Hutch. I'm gonna do some cool ass shit for your random. I feel like you need some more cool ass shit.
Oh. I will certainly take it. I still need to finish the one freaking art of your character in mind. God dang it, man. And the animation, and the thing I told her I should draw. Rachel will never see me draw another backwards hand ever again. I'm past that point in my life.
Yes.
I'm being very sarcastic and sweating nervously, I'd say.
You're sweating?
Yeah, very, very.
What's the character?
God, Aqueous. I hope not. I hope I'm not him. You know literally nothing about any of the trolls, but you had to become one. Just from the sheer, very minimal amount of vibes that you have known so far, if you had to pick one of them to become, what one
pick one?
would you be? Mm-hmm. If you had to.
Out of the vibes I got from them, can I look at a picture of them real quick?
Yeah, go for it. You can use that. You can look at their Googles and see what happens and pops up. Use any of it. I don't think you're gonna catch a lot.
I just want to look at a picture of them all.
Yeah.
So I can make sure I'm not forgetting any of them. I'm trying to find that page you were looking at where it's all of them all together. All the original 12. Yeah, here they are.
You got it. Awesome.
Knowing nothing about them.
Except for what you do kind of know. Which isn't much personality-wise or anything, so that's fun.
I'm tempted to pick the one that's my same Gemini just because I feel like it'd be safer, but maybe not. Honestly, alright, so there's 4 that I'm considering right now. I'll tell you the 4. My 4 that I'm considering is... No, it's going down to 3. I'm considering Solix, Terezi, and Gamzee.
Terezi and Gamzee, okay. What was the 4th one that got dropped out?
It's dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, but what was it?
I don't know anything about them is the problem I'm trying to decide. Alright, I'm gonna go off of luck. I'm just gonna go with Terezi just because we're both Libra and I feel like it's the safest bet.
Alright, alright. And now you're gonna have to live with that choice for the rest of your life.
Am I? And what is it? I am then? I'm gonna actually read about it to see what I've just signed up for. Oh, prospect's not a good thing to hear.
It's not a good thing to hear. I'm a prospect.
I know, right?
Wow. These Dursites.
The one I should have chosen.
Her fetch modus.
Patch crotch laugh. That's pretty fucked up.
Wait, what did you say a minute ago before that bit?
Adam thought it was crotch laugh.
No, they said something before that bit about maybe John, but I didn't catch it.
Maybe John? I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. All good, no worries.
Yeah, I'll be right back real quick. Maybe.
Exiles. Rose in the lawn. I don't remember that happening. What? Even just in the corner discuss. Oh, she went to the room. Oh my god! A dead bunny stuff. Yeah, I really need to reread Homestuck. What the frick? What the frick? I believe that he went BRB, but what's up? Unless you want to wait for him to go back, it's chill. Oh, swim teacher job. Awesome. Congratulations.
All right.
Welcome back.
You got the swim teacher job? So you're gonna teach people how to swim, Adam? I never really thought about it, but Texas has beaches. Are Texas's beaches any good? I know we have like our beach is rated like 1 or 2 in the entire world. One of our beaches are.
What's up?
All right, so now I'm at the issue where I've only designed half the characters. I need the other half.
What makes a beach not good? I've only been to 2 and one was just really sharp and pointy at me. And then
A beach?
the other was nice, yeah.
I honestly don't know what makes it good. I think people said it's the sand quality. It's because our beach is like a lot of like grinded up like
Really
shells
fine.
or something. Like our sand purity is like super fine. And then there's like a lot of things constantly of cleaning the beach and keeping it pure and
Yeah.
so like,
see, that's the only thing I could think of because I've only been to 2 of them. And one hurt.
So I feel like, yeah, I feel like those are probably bad beaches then.
It was also really cold when we went and it sucked. It was Virginia Beach. I don't know. Hold on, I'm looking it up. I was like really little, so I wasn't very attentionable. I don't know if it was like super proper or where we were entirely because I was like really little. All I remember is we went through West Virginia and then went to Virginia Beach. And wherever we were, it was freezing cold and there was a bunch of really chunky pieces of like shells that was stabbing me. And it was freezing. And then my mother wouldn't let me go very far into the water because she thought I would drown. And then I went into the water where I could and then laid down and let it roll me up onto the beach. And then she was kind of salty about it because she's like, you literally now look like you are drowning. Stop doing that. It's like, what? I was having fun though. That was my experience.
Sounds like fun. I don't know. I'm not a big beach guy.
It was cold.
I fucking hate the beaches.
I like.
The water's never like water's very rarely like actually hot. Even when it's hot in Florida, usually it's cold. That's why people usually go to the beaches because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the water is. But
no, like the whole
just don't.
temperature was freezing. Overall, it was not the right weather to be going to a beach. Not really.
That's too bad.
So it was freezing cold when I went to the Virginia beach. I like swimming a lot. My family, my dad and my grandma had a swimming pool, so I would always go swimming every year up until they moved recently.
I love swimming, but I when I swim, I like to like play games, and my family's like, they just want to like sit there and like chill. So if I tried to like have too much fun or cause too much commotion, they'd get upset.
Oh,
So
dude.
then
Yeah,
I get
sorry.
in trouble. So that eventually got to the point where I just stopped swimming with my family. So I only ever really go swimming with my friends on rare occasions. But I do love it when I do it.
It was very interesting because a lot of me swimming was with like my dad and them and stuff, obviously, and my father would. We had like a whale, the whales and the like dolphins and stuff that you could have.
Yeah, it's like the inflatable
The
ones.
inflatable ones. So he would just put it in like the middle of the pool, and then we would all try to jump on it without falling off. And then he would get on it and then like turn it into a freaking not get on it, but he would like use it to make all the water wavy. And then I would also just chase him around, and then he would just pick me up and dunk me under the water and throw me clear across the pool.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And a bunch of other stuff that I'm pretty sure if my mother saw, she would have yelled at me for because I think I definitely inhaled more water than I should have as a kid.
It's all good. I mean, that's part of having fun. I used to get thrown around all the time when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brother, the biggest trouble we got swimming was I put a bucket on my head, and then I had my brother sit on the bucket or stand on the bucket as I walked around on the bottom of the pool because the bucket had enough oxygen where I could like walk around like a scuba diver or like something or like a, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be walking around in the bottom of the pool with that, and then my parents thought my brother was trying to drown me,
Oh
and we got in
dear.
tons of trouble. And my dad broke the bucket, so we couldn't use it. He like drilled holes in the bottom of it.
Dang. Yeah. I don't know. I only ever got to like go swimming with my dad, or a lot of the time it was also just kind of me chilling and running around with Grandma Lori. We would just run around and play. Not really play mermaids, but we would just tell stories about making mermaid kind of characters a little bit, which was really
There's
interesting.
in the chat, Rilo and Lady Nim both say they can't swim. What do you think about that?
Hmm. I don't know. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, but it's fun. When you can, I
Okay,
guess. Question mark.
she's she's making fun of you guys. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, yeah, you can't swim because you drown almost instantly. No, actually, wait, go back. I get that. That's what you're saying. Because you're too short to stand in the freaking water, aren't you? I am. I am. I'm making fun of myself here, not you. Sorry, I said that in a weird way. I just feel, that's relatable. That's all. I freaking, the only,
That was
because
almost
Grandma
just
Lori's,
insanity.
I'm sorry. Really tired.
Yeah, you're fine.
But the only time I've ever gone swimming in like an actual normal pool that isn't Grandma Laurie's and theirs, which was like the perfect height for me as a kid, I would go to try to get it, and then I couldn't freaking reach the bottom. And I actually can't swim like a normal person, personally, but I do like to run around and swim underwater. But you can't have oxygen if you're under the water. You need to be above the water, and I can get above the water and everything, but I can't stand above it. So I'm just like not drowning, but you know, it's an
You're like a
interesting
dog in a pool,
experience.
where they have to keep treading. We can hang on the edge.
Yeah, I do. I hang on the edge, or I like paddle around until I get enough air, or I try to walk over towards the shorter section. They tried to teach me how to swim, like a normal person swimming, but like I don't know, I couldn't do it very well.
I can swim, like I can do regular swims, but I have more fun doing like a jellyfish swim. I think we've talked about this before, though.
We did, or you mean you in chat?
No, I think it me and you, but maybe not. Maybe it was me and
I
chat.
can't
I feel like
swim
we haven't talked
without
about.
holding my nose, which was also part of the huge problem.
You hold your nose?
I can't swim without doing it. I don't know how people not get the water up their nose. I can like dunk down, but trying to actually swim didn't work very well, and I'm pretty sure I would
You
inhale a
just
lot of water if it went wrong.
yeah, you just don't inhale through your nose. It's that simple. Can you not stop breathing through your nose?
It still goes up there. I don't know. It's super annoying. I can do it like on occasions, but like swimming around, and not just like dunking down doesn't work. I don't know. That's one of the main reasons that I always one of the reasons why I always had goggles every time I go swimming.
I hate the goggles. I can't deal with having the shit covering my nose.
You ever
Drives me crazy. I feel like I suffocate with it.
hmm.
I maybe I could do it now, but I couldn't when I was little.
See, that was gonna be one of my questions, was that Lady
What?
Nimrose. Because I can swim with my eyes open under the water without the goggles if I really wanted to. I have many times. And I used to all the time because of playing games in the pool.
I'm like doggy paddle. That's crazy. Well, I live in Florida. If I couldn't swim, I could swim with my eyes open easily. I live in Florida. I've swam so much of my life. I can swim in the salt water with my eyes open. You just have to like deal with it for a little bit. You have to like basically keep it there for like 5 minutes, and then you can get used to it, and then your eyes stop burning. But it does suck when you're little, and it also really sucks if you get sand in your eyes. But no, it's pretty essential in Florida to learn how to do all that. Like if you don't swim in Florida, you're gonna drown. There's too much water everywhere. Also, we need to teach you how to swim properly. Random,
You
without
can,
covering your nose.
if you want to try, but I can. I've done it like once or twice before, but it still like got up my nose, and it was not fun,
I don't know.
not
I learned to
pleasant.
swim when I was like not even 2 years old, which is when they teach us here.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't.
I was like one, so it's like instinctual for me. I don't even know. I think that's the problem is you didn't learn when you were like tiny baby.
I didn't learn when I was a tiny
I think
baby. I wasn't allowed to swim without
I
having
think.
floaties on for a long while, because I was too short and they didn't want me to drown.
Huh. I
So,
mean, keep in mind I was literally a fucking infant and they were having me swim. I was a toddler and I stopped using floaties. And I can guarantee you I was much smaller than you were.
yeah, I wasn't allowed for a while. My eyes suck. They just have very, very bad vision. But I wish I could actually have like glasses inside of my what's it called? Like inside of goggles, like glasses with goggles in it, because that'd be so fun. I used to love being in the water and then like making the bubbles and then just looking at it. It fascinated me so deeply, but now everything's super blurry. So I can't see anything. I can't watch the bubbles.
child called me.
Maybe I steal these boats and put them somewhere else in the animation. They would make more sense.
Also, Devin, that whole thing you just said about the mouth breathing and nose breathing is why I always breathe out my nose. Once I learned that like breathing out your mouth meant you are less filtered, my germaphobeness made it to where I only breathed in my nose, and now I have to intentionally breathe through my mouth. Or when I talk too much, I breathe through my mouth.
Prescription goggles.
Yeah. I have prescription sports goggles. I don't have swimming. They don't have like swimming insulation though, because I also played football. How's your animation going?
Mine.
You figured out your orange character yet?
I think I should move down the parts from the other bit, and I think they're gonna be childhood friends because of the one bits and stuff, and then they're gonna start fighting. They're gonna have a public fight. I don't know, something. Like they don't wear glasses. I think if I tried to get prescription ones, it'd be freaking nuts.
I don't remember them being too expensive, but I also was a kid, so I wasn't really paid for them, so they could have easily been super expensive.
Oh, maybe not. It'd be super funny if they were cheaper than getting actual glasses.
They do have pairs that are cheaper, but they're like shitty plastic.
I get an extra charge if I got them. Dang. I don't remember what it was. I just want to see.
You want to see what? Are you looking up how expensive they are?
Yeah, me? Yeah.
How much are they?
This one says it was about $100. I don't know. But I haven't put in any of the stuff that I need to, and they're gonna charge me extra for having it. Oh. At least $32 extra.
Working so well. That's
for
nice.
having bad vision. Thank you. Oh, that's just the one side, too. Oh, and not the other side either. God dang, I don't remember what it was. What was my prescription? I had it not that long ago for the other thing, but I don't have the glasses of this year's. And the contacts, though. I think they were about -9 each. At the very least.
I was studying these guys earlier, and I found a theme that I did unintentionally that I can now use, where the monstrous forms of them are their desires, like things that they desire. Because the thrill seeker got a fast one, and she's always trying to be fast. The one who tries to do a bunch of shit has the one with 4 arms. The goth one that's trying to hide from everybody has the one that lurks. And the one that wants to be confident and just like relax and has anxiety has a big chill one. I don't know if I have one for these yet, though. I don't know what the theme for the top ones are going to be yet. Dream version, but the monsters are now themed off desires. wasn't intentional. I'm rocking with it. More, but these ones I'm going to base off of these. They're going to have a crux form because that's how it works.
Are they bifocals?
Oh, wow. That's ridiculous.
It had to be said. Asked. Questioned. It went from like 100 and something to like 171. And where was it at? 115 to $171. At least for this one.
I've been wearing the same pair of glasses for years now, so I've already missed like a number of times where I could have gotten new ones for free. So I don't even know how much they are anymore. Because I usually have to get a bunch of add-ons that make them expensive. Too bad those don't stack up. I can't like skip a couple years and just get the nice ones every like 3 years.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's just I have like light issues, so I need to get like all sorts of weird little things so that I don't have like crazy glare. If I look at like that's why I keep the lights off in my room. If any like light bulb or like street light or anything is in my peripheral, it like shoots out like beams and I can't see anything.
The
Gazer beam. I came up with a cool. This is just a side story. So I came up with this cool company one time because I was trying to come up with a game design studio, and it was 3 like weird little like eyeballs. They all look different. They're like monster eyeballs, and it looked cool. I thought it just looked cool, and it was called Gaze Digital, right? Because I thought it sounded cool because they were gazing at you. And then after I told someone, I told like my brother about it or something, and they started dying laughing at me, and they're like, "So you're gonna go with Gaze Digital?" And I like didn't realize what they were saying. And then I was like, "Oh," and I ended up having to change it. I somehow created the whole idea without seeing that.
Was it mostly doing it on like text or was it out loud?
Yeah, it was both.
Hmm.
I had a friend that came up with it with me who was also doing it, and he also thought it was a cool idea until I pointed it out. Once I pointed it out, he started dying laughing, and he was like, "Ah, oh, we're idiots." And I was just a fool.
You know. The words in English and things do things like that sometimes. They just kind of do that.
I get word blocked where I don't think about every part of a word or how it sounds because I get so like set on a single idea.
Yeah. Oh.
You said yeah? I have no idea what I said.
Did I say yeah?
Yeah, you said yeah in response to me saying something, but I completely forgot what I said.
I don't even remember what I said yeah to. I don't even remember saying it.
That's brutal. So we just had a whole interaction where neither of us remembered any part of it.
I've done that so many times that it's not that surprising.
If we weren't recording, it would have been completely lost to time.
God dang, dude. I don't want to move all these frames. Bruh. I've only ever used and had them in school.
Used and had what?
Glue sticks. Everybody's discussing glue sticks.
Oh, I have tons of. I've finished a number of glue sticks. I've also had a lot of them dry out. I have a lot of craft supplies. Because my family are crafters. We like to make things.
I think I only ever really had like bottles of glue and tape. Mostly tape. And most of the crafting is ma'am just crochet. Except for when I used to cut up things and make like flip books. Flip books is, I don't know if that's right the word. Really.
The books are little things where you animate physically.
One of the ones where I flip things up and down and open them.
Oh, pop-out books?
I didn't really pop out
Pop
though. Just flipped open, like I could lift the flaps.
a flat book?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it's
Flap book.
I don't know what this fucking pen is. It's a bad pen, so.
Oh, but I really liked it being there.
You liked what?
I like this part of the animation being the entrance, but it doesn't make sense because I don't think she would use her powers till later on. But I could still have it there, but it wouldn't make
You
as
could
much
allude to it.
sense.
You could put stuff in there that kind of just like hints that that's going to come up later. Or like show it and then don't explain it, and then later on you'll see what it actually is.
Yeah.
Or just save it for a later part. There's a couple of things that I just cut out and I'm redoing because I'm going to save them for later parts.
Glitter? What? A glitter bath. Do it the other way around.
Yeah.
Shower and then bath.
Why do you bath before shower, Devin? That's not correct. You shower to make yourself not dirty, and then you bath for relaxation. If you bathe first, then you're gonna bathe in all your filth, and the shower's already useless. You're doing it backwards. It's like shitting after a shower instead of before. If you shit after a shower, you just dirtying it all again. What a foolish person.
Spotify is being so interesting today.
What's happening? Dude, those granny bathroom chairs.
Shower, bath,
I'm so
shower?
tempted to get one. I don't bathe at all, I just shower. Like, that's my... I just shower. Shower, no bath. Keep showering.
Just keep showering, just keep showering. When we lived out at my grandpa's, he had the little bath mat things. It was very interesting. They were very, very textured ones, but like
we have bath
really weird
mats
ones.
because of half of our family has almost died in the bath a number of times.
What the heck?
There's one time where I fell face first and I was almost impaled my entire eye on the because we have a little handle for the temperature or whatever, the pressure or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell face first and my eye almost went into the temperature handle and I put my hands along the walls, but they're slippery, they're tiles. And my hands were going down and my face was going down and I just barely like built up enough friction as my hands were going down where I stopped just before I impaled my eye onto it.
Good God.
It was like Spider-Man holding back the frame. It was like literally last second.
What the heck?
And I was like, oh my God, that was almost like awful.
Yeah. That's not very good.
And my mom fell and almost died as well.
Maybe you guys do need the little chairs and the things. Dang. The slipper mats, though, it was very interesting. I feel like one time it came undone and then it tripped me up. Or it was undone and I didn't know ahead of time.
We have a fancy one now where we had to stop. We had to not use the shower for like 2 days as my dad installed it and like let it cure and stuff. It was like 2 coats and everything. We used to just have a regular mat, but it'd constantly do what you're talking about, where it'd get like all stopped up and get gross.
Many people had life-changing accidents. I mean, I can kind of see it. It is slippery. Why just put this part in early?
Yeah, there's a lot of shuffling around because I didn't do any kind of thing beforehand. The sliding doors, I hate the sliding doors as well. They always get like annoying and like rusty or like moldy, and then they don't slide very well. I don't know why people do that to themselves.
I didn't need to do that. There we go.
No. It sounds like you did a Mario thing.
I did. Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
When you said didn't need to do that, it sounded like you did the underground theme.
Oh. I don't know what I did. Can't remember anymore. I could just move the whole thing, actually would make more sense, I think, for now. Say it with me, everybody. Transformation tools saves you all of the time in the world. That's something that I just always think about. Like, imagine like being in the shower or something, or and just like if someone like broke into your house and wasn't paying any attention, was running around rapidly, and then they went to like, that sounds terrible. Or like if tragedy strikes and you need to run out of your house immediately or else you die, but you were in the shower. And then you're just wearing it. Yeah, you're wearing either nothing or a towel, like at minimum.
I always have my robe with me at the shower. I wear a robe a lot because I like to be naked. So I always keep a robe nearby, and I can quick change into it in like less than a second. There's been so many times where I've been chilling here in my room naked. I didn't realize it was morning because it's night, and I don't have any light in here. It's all blackout. And then I heard my door open, and immediately I had to grab it and then spin around almost like Batman and put the robe on.
You did like a Sims change?
Pretty much. As long as it's just the robe, I can Sims change it.
You can Sims change it, like it's an actual proper, not explanation, but action. Very good. Sims change it. Very tired.
It is some kind of weird, bizarre thing that you're so tired all the time.
It's really weird. It's almost like I simply don't sleep for some strange reason. And wake up super early most every day. Like I have a job or something.
Trying to flex on me? Because I keep getting rejected from jobs?
No. No. I'll hire you. $5.
$5?
$5. Wait, sorry. Sorry, so wrong. My bad. Not $5. $5.99.
$9 an hour?
$5.99. There we go. See, like that.
$6?
Essentially, I just completed the subscription for 5 days.
Is that an hour?
I'll pay you on the 8th. There you go. Congrats.
Oh. Thank you. You converted from a Prime to a Tier 1. You already had a Prime sub. You were fine.
I don't, it wasn't saying it was renewing, and it was irritating because I can't lose my little thing. I want to have my little founder.
Oh, I see.
I can't remember what happened.
I can give you my Prime sub, right? There you go.
Hey.
There it is. 2-month anniversary.
Why is my bird going nuts? Hi.
2 months sub anniversary? It's not 2 months, it's 1 month. I didn't even know you until April 1st.
But you...
I guess technically I knew you back in, was it March 31st?
Well, I'm about to get to my 2nd month.
I don't understand. I think it just means I hit the 2nd month.
Yeah.
Alright, so back to
Me if I was a horse and I kicked. It's very good. Got hit by a horse. Dang. I've never been wounded by a horse. That big. Unless I got stepped a little bit on the foot. Oh, I almost got kicked off, but not kicked off, but like, yeah. The one time I was on a horse, it did kind of almost try to rear up. It was not fun. And then it tried to take me back home. Against permission. Permission being that it was like in one of the things. I don't know, my grandma took us to a horse riding thing with their trained horses, or their trail horses or whatever. And she put us on the ones where you're supposed to know a lot more about how to ride horses, but none of us knew how to do that. And then mine decided he wanted to go home after one of the other guys' horses spooked. So after my horse had a fuss, and then he just took off and he just started walking. And then I couldn't get it to stop or do anything or turn around. He didn't like it.
You were still just riding it, right?
Yeah. But I was just helplessly just following the horse and just going home. I was like,
you gotta go home. I mean, that means you'd survive if it was a monster.
Yeah. But it's such a chance everyone was after. But it was just very interesting because I was just like watching the horse. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm doing this correctly. I hope. I think. I've only been on horses a mild amount of times. Ish. I don't know. My aunt does horse things and every now and then go out and she would show me stuff, but not consistently enough for me to know what I'm doing that much. And my grandma took us on horses and then it wouldn't listen to me. And that was my experience. My whole room was horses. I don't even remember exactly why 100%, aside from like horses just have like the fun legs to draw and then like they run around.
The fun legs to draw?
Yeah, they got like fun legs to draw.
Have you ever animated a horse?
I've not animated them, I've drawn them a lot. I don't think I've animated one.
Horse is maybe one of the hardest things to animate when it comes to like running cycles.
I've seen so many funky looking horses. It's insane how often they mess up horse legs. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's notoriously difficult. It's not easy. I did it for fun one time to see if I could do it, and I did it, but it was one of the harder ones I've done when it came to like, it was also pixel art. It was like a small little thing.
I've drawn a lot of horses though. But I don't think I've tried to animate one. If I did, I don't remember.
You'll have advantage, because while you're drawing.
And then also... Millipede?
I'll tell you the thing that...
dancing? It's fun.
The thing that fixed my horse animation is when I reconceptualized it and realized that horses don't have legs or feet. They have big single fingers. They're just a giant hand.
Yeah, they're all on their toes.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not toes, it's toe.
Yeah, well, they have more than one toe. They have all of their feet combined. That was...
Yeah, they're...
Toe.
Yeah.
Toes.
But after I realized that, it made it all easier.
And then they have their little run. I tried to draw one without any references. I don't think I'd get very far. Like, animating it, I mean. I don't know how I went for a long time without seeing the Spirit movie. That's such a fun movie.
What movie?
Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. Or something.
Oh, no,
I don't think I said that right.
That
it's so fun because I like watched that movie. When I first watched it, I didn't realize that the animals didn't speak a single word. And for some reason that surprised me by the end of realizing. I like zoned in so hard when I first watched it. And I knew the humans were saying words, but the horses and stuff were like, I was so confused by the end of it. I was like, how did I watch a movie and they didn't say a single word? The animals just didn't talk at all, but they're the main characters? We just watched so much happen and there was barely any dialogue? I don't know why that part in particular surprised me and fascinated me deeply. And I also have no idea how I didn't realize it. But like, oh man, I don't know, it's so fun. I mean, it's difficult as frick to be able to draw and animate something so well and have like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening like that. Crazy stuff, but like, and still like get all of the expressions and everything right to tell the story of everything. Just pure body language of an animal. You have to make it read through humans too. You have to get it right. It's fun.
Yeah, it is insane. I'm not dissing it at all. I feel like you're trying to like defend it, and I'm not even against it.
Was I?
That's what it
was
like.
a great proof of good media. I'm just excited about it. I don't know. This is really bad. I swear I've actually drawn horses before. I'm kind of distracted drawing them now. I don't animate. I just draw horse.
You should animate a horse running real quick. Is that what you're doing?
I was drawing one. I could try. Am I allowed to look up a reference or even just like one picture of a horse?
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
it's a super
horse.
difficult task.
I know they've got.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Because you said.
You know, I could try it and then do it afterward to see what I did wrong.
Yeah, that works.
Oh well. I'm gonna look up at least one picture of a horse though. Just a reference of what they look like instead of trying to absolutely rely entirely on anatomy remembrance. Random the horse drawing, no reference. Okay, alright. You want random the horse? You want it random the horse, okay.
Yeah, have you drawn your character as a horse yet?
Ooh. I've drawn my characters a lot of animals. I actually don't know if I've done a horse. I think I was going to one time and I didn't.
It's insane if you haven't. Literally play the horse game all the time.
Okay, but I feel like this is actually just horse running. What I just looked at just looks like a horse running. There we go. Let's see it. Right there. Ta-da! There's a really old version.
What is it? Is it on your stream?
Yeah, I have it on my stream. I was gonna say, I realized I didn't have anything to send it.
I have an ad break on your stream, even on subbed. This is bullshit.
Wow. How?
Oh, look, it is Random the Horse. I just refreshed it and it was fine.
That's my old version of Random where she was absolutely even more neon.
You named the channel points?
Huh?
Called her brand dots?
Yeah.
How did you do that? I could change it, but I don't think I...
Yeah, you can rename them. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, let me see if I can remember where they were.
Alright, chat. Should I name the Hutch buttons? Should I just call them, like, buttons? Or should I call them, like, Hutchins?
That's what I was saying that in my head. Like, what would you call them? Buttons? Huttons? Hutchins? Huttons?
Hutch buttons?
Did horses and we did those unicorns and dragons? Ooh, I should turn Random into a dragon. That sounds awesome, actually. I'm stealing your thing. Sorry. Hutchins? Souls?
I have no sharpener and I must sharpen. It's like the I have no mouth, but I must scream. Yeah, but if I can't do souls, because I wanted to do like souls or shadows, because shadow imps, but then I'd have to change it from buttons.
Unless they infuse them into the soul buttons just to be able to carry them around easier.
Nah.
Dang.
Nah, I think they're just Hutchins.
I tried. Okay.
That's named.
Oops.
Some of I never noticed that. Van dots of all things. Here, they want me to share it.
What?
There you go.
You're sharing what? Oh!
They want me to brag about my prime.
I can time you out for that.
Sure, time me out for it.
Ban you, time out, I can give you a warning, and then I can just delete the message. It's highlighted because your message is highlighted, so it's just very right there in your face.
But if it's me, wouldn't it be highlighted?
Highlighted? Are you a highlighter?
I am. So that's actually my real name. I've been trying to keep secret from everyone.
Highlighter?
Yeah, I'm actually Tyler. I'm Tylighter.
Dang. What is this? What is Spotify doing? Actually, completely looking at this, it sucks. Just use a knife. Whittler. Alright.
I'm gonna sneak a what's now become a major plot spoiler for the thing that doesn't exist.
Uh-oh.
There's a dad and daughter character where the whole thing is the daughter has a bear that becomes her weapon, but the bear it's like a little teddy bear that becomes sentient, and eventually it evolves into like a giant, basically like puppet that like protects her and guards her. And then I'm gonna have a thing where the dad fails to save the daughter, and the daughter ends up dying, his little like 6-year-old girl, in this crazy world where he's spending his whole time just trying to keep her alive and from being scared. And she dies, and he's forced to have, like, her ghost is basically stuck with him because she's still scared even in the afterlife.
Aww.
So he's stuck with the ghost of his dead daughter around him, where he can't do anything to help her. And it torments him. And eventually, I think he might become a villain or something. Because he ends up, like, hating the world. So I think that'd be vibey.
Sounds very fun. Storyline. Not as fun as an actual thing.
She thinks dead children is fun. What do you guys think about that?
No!
I was doing it because it was sad and emotional, not because it was fun, but
No.
Random.
Trauma builds the best characters.
Trauma does build the best characters. Actually, that's a whole thing when it comes to, like, I hear everybody's heard the term, but trauma bonding. But the best way to build someone's relationship with the character is through trauma, or in real life is through trauma. And if you do it with fiction, that's what makes those characters end up standing out so well, is because you end up feeling sympathy for their plight and shit. And it feels obvious, but if anybody's trying to design characters, just keep that in mind. If you struggle to make a character relatable, it means you maybe haven't put them through enough hardship. And that's what they need. That's what stories are. It's people overcoming difficult things. Even like the simplest like kids stories is still the same thing. It's someone overcoming something difficult. Like if I can think about any like kids show, like even like maybe not Teletubbies. I was gonna say it's Teletubbies, but if you think of like a Paw Patrol or anything, pretty superb. It's always some kind of trial that they have to overcome. It's fun. I love stories.
Tell you what, I don't like the one horse's breed's face because they look scary to me.
What horse breed?
I think it's the Arabians. They scare me.
All right, someone clip that out of context. Arabians scare her.
Well, every other horse kind of has like a really flat face, but like this is what they look like. I'll send you the picture.
Picture of it.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, what?
Some of the pictures
I think I just saw an extra weird one.
Scare me.
They look like chess pieces. This is the one I had pull up. Oh, yeah, they are freaky. Yeah, that's fucked. That is awful.
I don't like them. I'm sorry.
Dead trauma. Why are you apologizing for it?
Because I'm sure some people out there like them, and you know, there's an Arabian watching this. There's an Arabian horse that's forced to watch this stream with their owner riding on the back of a horse right now.
We can look at our viewers. So out of Shadios, Rielo, Lady Nim, Random, oh, we know it's not you. Templar,
Where
Devin,
am I?
Adam. Which one? Which one is the one riding the Arabian horse who's sad? I'm betting Adam. Adam feels like the type to ride a horse. I think Devin, if she actually encountered a horse in real life, she'd probably be scared of it. And Lady Nim's too short to get on a horse.
That's just not even true. I've been on a horse.
I mean, you could tell fucking fiction all day, but we all know if you're too short, you're not gonna get on a horse.
My aunt.
What's funny is the best horse riders are all short. That's what, like, they get tiny little midgets to ride horses, like horse jockeys.
Hmm.
So it makes it funny.
My aunt used to teach her horses to bow down so that she could get on them easier.
Is your aunt short like you?
No, but she has like leg braces and stuff. She has them. But it was very interesting because she would make the horse bow down so he could get on it. Sometimes, I don't know. Or just to show it to me anyways, but it was fun. I don't remember.
It takes so long to get to the actual. The thing is I've learned that the whole beginning part of this song, I can't put action in. Because it just sounds like build up. It's literally like fucking almost a minute straight of build up and pretty much a 3-minute song. It's so repetitive. So it's like it has to be like really a bunch of these small little skits that relate to each other.
Hmm. That's the head of my horse so far. Might make it smaller still. Dang it. Neck is too short. I'm still using no references. I'll follow my guidelines.
Are you actually using no references?
Yes.
You don't have to do it to yourself.
I was told to. I don't know, man. Sorry. Do you want me to go against the chat? It's just rude.
I guess I thought I was the one who told you to do that as a joke.
No.
It was chat. You don't have a choice, do you?
Lady Nimrose, no, you have to random the horse drawing, no references. And then Worst Name of Devon says the power of imagination, but I don't know if that was to that or if it was to turning into a dragon stuff. I can't remember. Or something else.
Have you drawn like a proper like random the dragon?
No, I've never drawn random as a dragon. I used to draw dragons for a while there, but not.
I know. I've seen dragon drawings from you. I would have assumed.
Really? I don't remember them. I think most of them was on my freaking Wattpad. Where was the rest of the dragons?
I don't know. It's just one of those nights.
Yeah.
You showed me a number of dragon drawings.
Definitely for the horses. Hashtag I'm.
It wasn't on like your computer. It was on one of the social media things you showed me. It was also the one you showed me. It was during the same time where you showed me all the pet ones, and you showed me like your dragon thing. We have all those dragons in that, like the witch dragon or whatever.
Oh yeah, you know what? Like Flight Rising dragons. I drew some of them. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what you're showing me.
So I used to make up dragons because I would try to write stories about them. It was very interesting. I keep forgetting I have to start the horse off running. I'm also gonna have to pull the head off. Gotta separate all the pieces of the horsey. Probably at the circles too. I'm definitely gonna get the freaking proportions wrong, man. Of length of everything. But we're just gonna pretend it's styled at this point because I can't look up the references. So it's just stylized, guys. I mean, I think the legs are gonna be very stylized for sure, at least, because, horses. They got big knee, and then they got other thing down there.
Oh, there's so much more of this. I'm like pretty much done with all of the preset. I just want her to start singing. I almost want to edit the song and get rid of some of this outro.
You could use some of it for, like, credits to, like, your, like, stuff. A lot of people do. Like, song title, and then, like, I animated this on my Twitch. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can put it right before the actual animation starts.
Yeah. A lot of people do it
This
when
one's
there's
gonna be the one where
intro.
it says the intro.
Let's see, this doesn't feel like the right. That's too long. God dang, dude. Sorry, I draw really long legs when I draw them for fun. Okay, now it's just getting worse.
Is when you're citing a song, do you go title artist or artist title?
Name of the song and then the person, I would imagine. The same as you would like anything like book-wise and stuff, right? I would. Because I'd be like, oh, have you heard the song of Starstruck? By sorry?
You could also be like, you know,
Have you heard "Listen to Your Heart"? No.
I'm gonna put like "Listen to Your Heart." No.
Oh.
People keep it up. No. No. I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna listen to your guys' Spotify with you. It's not my Spotify anymore because I don't even listen to it. I want to listen to Your Heart. Oh, here. I'll play this in case anybody's wondering what the song I'm using is. I'll add that to queue. I'll have to listen to it again. I'm listening to it and scrolling through it on my thing, so I don't have it on for you guys, so you guys don't have to listen to me. Let's play the same song 15,000 times. See, hear how long the intro is on this shit?
I just split the horse legs up into pieces so I can be super uber lazy.
I almost queued up the "Listen to Your Heart." Ooh, oh, listen to your heart. And I never thought you. What's that fucking song called? What's that song called? It's called "Listen to Your Heart." It's in here. I'm so tired of that fucking song.
What, the one you were playing for your animation?
No, a different one.
Or the "Listen to Your Heart"? Get the shoulders up here. Put the shoulder up there. Thank you.
The good thing about choosing a small, like, cool people indie band like this is I don't think they're cool people. Gorilla Toss are like actually like a good group of people. Like I'd hang out with them.
Whatever.
I don't think they'd copyright strike this. I think they might actually allow me to have it on YouTube. You can still have it if it's copyright stricken, right?
You can what? Whoops. What'd you say?
If you post something without, can you like not monetize it so you don't get
Oh yeah, for sure. Are you freaking like actually able to apply for the monetization on your YouTube?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's even a choice then.
I have like 7. I forgot that was even a thing. It's gonna be like Twitch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
God, it'd be so cool to see them in band. Apparently, they're on a tour in America. Oh no, they were on a tour in America. You're European, so they only ever are in like where Devin is. Like I think Devin probably could have gone to them in concert. Gorilla Toss would be one of the best bands to go see in concert. I think they'd actually be so fun. All of the concerts I've gone to have been mistakes, and they always suck.
Oh. I've never gone to a concert. It's my only contributions. I want to join conversations.
If I found a concert, would you go to it?
Maybe, yeah.
Like a cool band tour?
I've never gone to one. I don't know what to expect. Sure.
I've been to festivals. Music festivals are usually better than concerts. But music festivals are usually a lot of drugs. Concerts aren't always depending on the band. Usually concerts random. Listen to Your Heart. Usually concerts are more like you dance and like sing along, and it's just like you see them perform, and a lot of times they do like little skits partway through. So if it's a cool band, it's extra cool. Touch? Oh yeah. He was frozen on my screen, but I have it paused. That's what happened. But they're usually actually really fun as long as it's a good band. I've been to one concert that was like the Offspring concert I went to. The skits and the comedy and stuff was actually really good in it, and their personalities were really good. But they were too old, and they were not singing on beat and stuff because they're Offspring, and they're like an old 90s band. They were older in the 90s even. So like, of course it's not going to be good. But either way. No, my other concert I went to was a Thundercat concert, and it's a lot of like trippy heavy bass, and I love a lot of his songs, but I've realized when he's just sitting there riffing on a guitar for like 30 minutes straight for like a single song, and you're just zoning out, it does not make a good concert. I needed drugs or something. I don't take drugs, but I think if I had drugs it'd be fun. Yeah, Adam, I mean there are some old people can keep it going. Devin's going to a rave. I can only imagine. Yeah, we have hella raves in Florida. I've been invited to a few of them, but I don't really want to go because I'd have to go crazy. If I went to a rave, it'd be the type of situation where I'd be up for 3 days straight on a lot of substances I've never been on before, and I'd probably die at the end. So I think it's probably best if I don't go. I've yet to consume anything but alcohol, and I like to keep it that way. Even alcohol, I've only had like I probably have only drinking like maybe 20 times in my life, and 5 of those were before I was 18.
Good. Horse hooves suck. For the record.
What is?
Horse hooves.
I know.
They're so fun when you're not trying to draw them kind of realistically, though. But now I've got to. Ah, forget.
We should draw Yu-Gi-Oh duelists of our characters, and then make a Yu-Gi-Oh card of like our actual OC, because usually the characters in the show are known for like the decks they use. So you'd have like a signature card that matches who you are, like Joey Wheeler in the Skeleton Knight, or Yu-Gi-Oh in the Dark Magician, Kaiba in the Blue Eyes White Dragon. But I can make like a Hutch Yu-Gi-Oh card. And then I could have myself as a duelist with one of the cool ass arm gauntlets. You know what? I had one of the Yu-Gi-Oh arm gauntlets, and I didn't know what happened to it, and I found out that fucking the one I had, there's a whole story here. I don't want to get into it. Basically, a friend gave me the card gauntlet, and I thought it was cool. I found out he stole it from another kid he went over to a sleepover with, and he gave it to me to fence it, like hide it from the kid. Because then once the kid complained that it was stolen, there was a huge problem in the school, and the teachers ended up having his parents check his room and like his house, and it was like a whole deal, and they couldn't find it. So the kid who got it stolen from ended up getting yelled at for lying about it, and then the kid asked for it back from me, and took it back from me. But then when he took it back from me and had it, his parents saw it, and they flipped out because they realized the one kid wasn't lying, and it was like this massive fucking thing, and I accidentally fenced a thing for him, but then he got caught in the end because he was a dumbass. But I almost had an actual gauntlet, and it was super cool. I played with it for a while because I actually have Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Yeah, I love Yu-Gi-Oh. I play the fuck out of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon are my favorite 2 card games. The new Digimon. The old one sucks, but they made a new one that's like super fun to play.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's actually what got me back into Digimon.
Anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, except for like I think Sophia watched it for sure, and I think Rachel said she watched it like a couple of times. It was really interesting. I don't know.
It's not good, but it's funny and iconic.
It sounds very interesting. Anytime I've heard anything of it, but not really anything of it. I've just seen their like some of the pictures of them, and it's just very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the few animes that I've genuinely laughed at, just because how ridiculous it is sometimes.
Huh. Horse's hoof is way too big. It needs to be way, way, way thinner. I don't know, man. I think I might actually not be... Does it matter what kind of run?
As long as it looks like a horse running. If you make it look like a human bear crawling, but it has horse's anatomy, I'll take that too.
What the frick? Say it again? A bear crawling? But a human
You know what
bear?
a human bear crawl is?
No.
A bear crawl. It's a thing you do. It's when you get on all fours and you run. We had to do them for football to practice jumping up from heck position. I can send you a video of a bear crawl real quick.
If you want to. I'm gonna try to draw the horse. I think it might be cantering.
But I'm just saying, if you drew a human doing this. It'd be so fucking funny. Or a horse doing this. There it is. You're gonna skip like halfway through. It's a short video, but the first 5 seconds are just like title. Oh my god. Devin's got hella fucking Joey Wheeler shit in her room.
What?
She made a mural for it. Is this Sukasa one? Well, I don't know. I don't know who the one with the flag is. You said Sukasa. When I think Sukasa, I think of Dr. Stone.
See, that doesn't look like it's correct because the anatomy of the arm thing, the style of the other foot, is very my style.
Yeah,
That's
Lady
fine.
Nim. If you didn't know Lady Nim, the history of Digimon. So Pokemon, a lot of people for some reason don't guess or don't realize that Pokemon was a game first and foremost. They think it's an anime or card game first, which is ridiculous. But it was a game, and the game was so popular that they made cards to help sell the game. Or the game, they wanted to market it. So after the game released, they released cards to sell the game, and then released like the yellow version, and re-released red and blue. And then after that, when it actually got really popular, they made making an anime, and then after that, it just fucking blew up, and Pokemon became just everywhere. And then Digimon was originally Tamagotchi. It wasn't even a Pokemon clone. It was literally just a Tamagotchi clone. It was made to compete with Tamagotchi because they basically wanted boys to buy Tamagotchis, but they couldn't get them to buy Tamagotchis because they looked too girly. So to get them to buy them, they made them digital monsters, Digimon. Not even no relation at all to Pokemon. And they were basically little pets that you'd raise. You'd have to clean up their shit and train them, and then you could go to your friends' Tamagotchis that are Digimon, and you could fight them against each other. I'm also gonna stop listening to this guy scream. This song sucks. And so then it was basically just Tamagotchis for guys, where you'd fight them and train them. And then the first games that came out were like that, where you'd actually train them and fight them. And then after the success of Pokemon, they started making taming, like monster catching RPGs of Digimon as well. Which is why there's two full mainline series of Digimon, where there's one side where you train them and progressively work through a thing where they fight and you just train them and make sure they're ready to fight. You can't really help it too much in the battles. And then there's a whole other one where it's like Pokemon, where you capture them or you scan them technically, recreate them on your own, and then you train them in a farm. You can, but you can also just straight up fight them and basically play it like Pokemon. So there's a lot to it. And then it was also a card game. Once Pokemon card game blew up, Digimon made their own card game to compete with Pokemon, and that was the first time Digimon actually interacted with Pokemon in a market share. And then they eventually made the games and then continued their competition. But the Digimon card game originally was actually significantly better than the Pokemon card game, but they never improved upon it, and it wasn't selling at all, so they stopped making it. So then Pokemon kept going. I still think the Pokemon card game sucks, and it needs to be remade. The app does a better version than the physical ones do, because they fix a lot of the issues. But the new Digimon card game, they rebooted it like 7 years ago-ish. No, it's more like 3 or 4 years ago. But when they rebooted it, I immediately found out about it, and I blew like tons of. I was making tons of money in tips from Waffle House. Didn't realize how much money I was making, and because I was making almost like $2 to $3 grand a week in tips, and then I went and spent almost $1,000 a week on Digimon cards. So I have a massive fucking Digimon collection, but it's actually worth I think 4 times what I spent on it because a lot of the cards I got I actually pulled like extremely rare shit. So yeah, I spent like I think at the end of the day I didn't spend that much. I spent like 3.5 grand ish on Digimon cards, which is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And then but now it's worth I think 14 grand. It was last time I got it appraised, and that was like 2 years ago. But that's my spiel about Digimon. Also, Devin, it appears your favorite thing. What is that? Why'd you send that picture?
Hmm?
Devin just posted a picture of how trashy she keeps her room. There's just the thing is, you could have like craft waste, like papers and stuff. I get around my room, but food waste, I do not let build up around my room. That's dangerous. That's how you get bugs. I'm terrified of having bugs in my room. Also, Devin, I think the trait you go for is blonde men. Apparently, I used to be blonde, but not anymore. I've stayed inside too much, and my hair darkened. And now I have like brown hair. It just reminded me of the fucking The granola bar I ate last night. Seeing all Devin's trash waste makes me want to fucking make sure none of my shit's sitting out. I ate a granola bar last night and left it on my counter, and I forgot to throw it away because I was laying in bed. I woke up and my stomach was hurting because I forgot I ate yesterday.
God, maybe this would work better if I just drew the horse like a normal person. Up, 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 up.
How many people do you think know that the @ sign means at? Probably a lot, right?
Yeah?
I mean, like younger people, but still. I know not a lot of people know that the and sign is called an ampersand, which I thought was common knowledge.
I've seen.
Or that the original use of the hashtag, the pound sign.
Does anyone remember how horse necks kind of work? Alright, well, fine.
The neck is just like a continuation of the body.
They have no chest, it's just straight to their legs.
You know what's funny? I mean, it's a chest.
It's like straight legs. When you like look at their chest, they've just got like a little line because it's just straight their legs, and then it's neck.
Yeah, if you look from the front, they have a lot more of a chest.
But when it's to the side,
it's funny.
Still just straight leg. For the most part, yeah.
I couldn't draw a horse for the longest amount of time, but I've played enough chess where I know how to draw a knight from chess. And every time I draw a horse now, I just draw a knight from chess and then build the horse off of it, and it works.
I'm gonna see you draw a horse. This sounds funny. Not funny, but fun. Sorry. Wrong word.
I usually draw. I have one that I really like, or an idea that I really like. I haven't drawn a full character off of it, but I like the idea. Here, I'll draw it real quick. So it's a centaur, right? I hate centaurs. I don't like them usually, but I thought of a really funny thing for a centaur.
Why don't you like centaurs?
That's usually how I do it. Because I think they're dumb. I just don't like the way they look. They're always like big buff men that's like glistening with like a horse body. It's like, it just seems like such an inconvenient life to me. Like most monster folk, I feel like you could like get away with like living somewhat normally. If you're a centaur, your life sucks. Like you can't wear half the clothes. You might be a little fast, but you're definitely not fitting in any kind of room. Like you have to basically have custom housing and accommodations. It feels like if they existed in the real world, they'd be a huge pain in the ass to deal with.
Also, like literally, they just have like two. Like it's just weird. They're just weird because they're just like a chest coming out of a chest.
Yeah, and that anatomically, they are very strange. I'm drawing a horse from memory. I'm almost done with it already. I can't remember how their front legs look, but it looks something like that. And then if it was an actual horse, it'd be like, sit. But it wouldn't be that high up. It'd just be like continuing the body. And they have those necks that are like that. But anyways, I don't fucking know how to draw a horse. I know how to draw a passable enough horse so I can get a centaur made. Anyway, so the idea of this though, it's a centaur, right? But when he wears a helmet, and the helmet looks like a chess, like a knight from chess. So then he has like a little horse helmet basically that looks like he's continuing the horse, and I just think it's a really funny idea.
That does sound kind of good.
And then put a tabard on it. He's a knight. Give him some potions. And then give him a big old lance.
What is it, like one leg here connects down right there, I think? Oh god, that's a bad sketch. Don't do that one.
You do I put some armor on these parts? Because
I don't know if it would
I
connect
don't know how
right
you would
away.
armor a horse knight, but I feel like you'd want armor. It's too much flesh to just have exposed. Horse human racism. I don't know if it's racism. Maybe it, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a really. I just imagine. Here's what causes me to not like it. I imagine how my life would be as a monster in various ways. Like I think like if I was a goblin, I'd love it. Just a little tiny guy. I could just. I don't have to be all gross like a goblin. I could just bathe and have hygiene and shit, and I could just exist in like a tiny form, and I'd be able to like deal with shit. And they're super agile and stuff. It's awesome. My life is like say like a harpy. I could fly. That's worth any of the costs. Say I was like a snake person. Not that bad to have a big snake body. I could deal with it. Oh, thank you, Shadios. Oh, did the fucking raid thing work? Did the alert
Hey!
go off? Can anybody tell me?
Oh, I just seen it. I see it. Oh, that looks cool. It covers you completely up.
Yeah, it's
I
the
like
point.
how it slides out.
It hides
That's
me.
fun.
All right, awesome. Good job. How's your stream, Shadios? Saw it leaving. Really good? Nice. I'm glad. Anything cool happen? Did you want to if you send me a picture I could Oh yeah, here, shout out. Sorry. If you send me a picture I can show some stuff. There you go. There's Shadios. Yeah, just either in the Discord. Or do you want me to I can show off your one thing from you did last time, your work in progress one on the Discord. Sounds right on. Alright. Then you can send it to me or you can post it in the Discord. If you post in the Discord, let me know though so I can think to look for it. Because I'm not gonna check. I'm gonna forget to at least. Because I'm brain dead and forget. Okay, so that's where it's gonna choose you.
Well, that something about this it just ain't sitting right. That's okay. When I say it's okay, I mean it deeply bothers me, but that's okay too.
Featherdust. Welcome, Featherdust. For the life. I bet they were stuck in ads. I'm sorry. You have to deal with that. It sucks. Here, since Featherdust is new, I could show you some stuff I've made. This is gonna give Random the advantage on the race.
I'm literally drawing a horse.
She's already way ahead of me in every way.
I don't think it's gonna get done.
There's all sorts of cool stuff though. I'll just show those. Look at all these cool things. This is one of our viewers. We did an OC raffle and he got his little guy. This is one of my OCs. She's pretty cool. Drew a gun. I don't often draw weapons and I'm practicing with perspective. It's one of our viewers, Jezza. That was really cool. And then that's my little guy in the bottom. And that's him in the Hollow Knight figure. Our Hollow Knight style. Those are some cool things. We have all sorts of stuff. Right now we're working on an animation to a song. But also I'm tired of all this screaming that's happening. This is too much. Every song has just been screaming. We're gonna go to chill playlist. Sure, we'll start with Joji. But right now we're animating a song. And I had to concept an because I wanted the idea of the song that I had, because basically me and Random send each other a list of songs, and we had to pick for each other which of the songs to go with. This song that she picked was a song that I didn't have the concept of the world made yet, so I had to design an entire world basically and characters for it. Here, that one. And so I've basically completely concepting a whole cast of characters, a storyline, and everything else as I animate all this. And it's hellish. It's a hellish task, but it's turning out cool so far. Problem is the song has way too much intro part. Alright, let's see.
God, I don't remember how this entirely works for the back leg. But I'm doing something.
I'm gonna mute this again. Digimon fam, I got familiar vibes. Yeah, we were actually, you just missed Feather Dust. We were just talking. I went on a whole Digimon tangent. I could show you a Digimon commission I did for June. Here. Oh, Red Vox? Sure. I used to listen to a lot of Red Vox. My friends bury me. Oh. I just like Vinny, or Vinesauce Vinny. So I ended up listening to the band. I got into it. There you go. And then here, let me show you these. So these are Digimon commissions I did. I concepted an entire line, but we only got 2 of them done. There's one that we were working on, but I don't like the way it looks, so I was going to redraw it where it was going to be the thing. So this is the... Where'd the other one go? Because the other one's my favorite of the 3. There we go. So this is the rookie. And then we have the champion. And then we have... This is either an ultimate or an alternate champion. I can't remember how it works. But the rookie's my favorite of all 3 of them. The champion's their favorite. They wanted something like how they wanted a mix between how like Renamon has their body type, and they also wanted it to be like Gatomon, where the champion kind of looks like a rookie a little bit. If I go to sketches, I can find the originals, the actual ones, because I really liked all these. We ended up creating like all this lore for them, where there's like 4 mainline, like just 4 characters, and then it goes into the thing where they can like fuse. There's like all these different fusions because Digimon, and that's how it works, is you end up getting all the fusions. Oh, it's 2024. It's last year. I forgot. Here's the sketches for this one. The sketch for this one. These are my little sketches. There's that one. That was going to be the alternate rookie or possibility. Or no, before the rookie, it's a Salamon. It's like Circuit Salamon or something. And then it evolves into this, but we changed the designs, so these are old. So that's the ultimate of this one, or not this one, this one. And then the ultimate turns into the Mega right there, and that one's pretty cool. And then there's also, this was a concept for the Mega before we considered what it was, or it was a test for the ultimate. And then this is one of the, it's like a corrupted version. It's like a ultimate, I think, as well. And then this is an alternate Omega, the corrupted Mega, I mean. And then there's also these ones too, where we were doing these little guys. And then they turn into these guys. And then there's like this, which is it's a form change, but it's not the actual one. Where's the actual one? The actual one's really cool. Here, it turns into this one, right here. And he's pretty cool, and it's like plague spores around him. And then it turns into this thing at the end, which is pretty sick. But these are all sketches. I don't consider these like finished, because I wanted to make real ones. And then I ended up making this one. I only think I made 2 of this one, where it was this, and then this, where he evolves and gets a big old sword. I thought was cool. Technically, that's like the 3rd one. And then this one right here is one of my favorites that I did. I love the way this one looks, like just in general. But if I go back to, because now I pulled up too many things, I'm gonna have to close them all now.
Did I accidentally erase part of my horse?
So if we go back to this one, or not this one, the sketch for this one. I probably closed it. It's fine. Those sorts of cool guys. So funny. These actually helped me a lot with learning all sorts of things, doing all these commissions for the Digimon. But here, if I go back to this one has alternate things where its mask can come on. So you could do like this and turn its mask on. But there's also, if I turn, is it that layer? Yeah, it has a dark version. where it's called like a Hazarmon or something, and then it turns into the cooler one, the Metal Hazarmon, like it's the big huge arm, and he evolves into that instead. And I love this little line right here a lot. It's cool. There's a lot more, but I don't have them on the digital. But I thought I'd show those off. I've never shown those off on stream, but they're cool. Because as a fellow Digimon fan, we don't have many in here. I feel like you'd understand and respect it a bit more. Everyone else are just cool little characters. But they actually have full theming and names and everything. What were you saying, Random?
I was talking to myself about my horse. It's okay. Or was I saying something else? I don't know.
I don't know if you did. That's what I was asking.
I don't know. Thank you. I'm good.
Alright. Alright, everybody, judge her real harshly.
No! Great.
Worst fear of being judged. Alright, I have to figure out what I'm doing with this again. So I got my Digimon tangent, and I've lost my train of thought again. You sons of bitches. What is it? Where's the one? It's 11i. I'm gonna place this one with 11i. I'm gonna delete that. I'm just glad you picked a song that I don't mind. Can you imagine if I picked the one song for you?
Which song?
The Love Hate.
I can't decide.
I can't decide.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have really minded it at the end of the day. It probably would have been a little easier to animate just because I've watched so many other people animate it.
I would have probably blown my brains out if that was the song I had to do.
If I had to do it or if you had to do it?
If I had to do it.
Keep in mind for next time when you have to ask for a song. Whether that's a threat or just being nice, you'll have to figure out.
Yeah, you'll just have to know that that won't ever... That'll be... I will reject the challenge at that point.
I can't decide. Yeah. That song just haunted me everywhere. And I don't think I'm the only one, so it sounds, which is so funny to me.
It's because that song sucks, but it was just everywhere. Because it's just cringe. It's a cringe song. It made me stop liking that entire genre. What's the big one?
The genre?
Of them? The Carnival? I can't remember their name. Oh, here we go. Version. There's a wave. Alright.
Are the people that did
I'm gonna copy.
things?
I'm gonna claim I made. Look at this cool art I made, and definitely not Shadios made. Definitely not. He definitely is not the artist, the super talented artist that made this. I don't know. Can I say that, or should I just be like, yeah, he did make it? But they're pretty cool. Look at your shading. I don't do shading very well. There's so much atmosphere in this. Just like the tone alone. You can just feel like on the characters how deep it is. Like I relate with that guy. Whatever that guy's feeling, I felt that. It's so weird because it's so expressive, even though it's the whole expression is not expressive. I like that one more. I like the dark one more. The light one shows the characters better, but a problem that I used to run into a lot is that I would only design characters almost for reference for myself, so I could design them later in the future. So I draw them in awkward poses where I could notice every detail I really wanted to show off of them. But once I got over that hurdle eventually, and I realized that sometimes details get hidden, and that's just part of it. Like if you want interesting poses and you want interesting composition and stuff, you kind of just have to bite that bullet and realize that you're not gonna be able to show people in the colors you want or the things you want. And sometimes it's better to just make something have the right vibe or tone than it is to give it a good like I don't know, something else. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it's something that I learned that changed the way I do art
It's not.
significantly. I've now learned that reference sheets are reference sheets, and art is meant to be different. Computer's unplugged for safety. That makes sense. What is it?
What's
Oh
happening?
yeah, you probably should watermark it.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't ever remember to watermark my shit either, but still. No, when it storms here, I have hard copies of it. I get crazy with my file saving. I don't ever remember to save when I'm in here, like doing this, but I have like pretty much once a week, I back up all of my files on a cloud, a hard drive copy, an external hard drive copy, and I create a like an archive on my computer where it compresses all the files down, and I only do the clip files. I don't save any of the exported ones because I can always just re-export. But yeah, I don't know. I get crazy with it. I usually risk it though. I also have a battery backup on my computer, so I have like my computer's really resource hungry. So usually I only get like maybe a minute. But once the power goes out, I have like a minute to quickly save and close everything I can and try to shut down my computer before it goes sour. Sometimes I can make it, and sometimes I can't. Depends on how much I've neglected to save. And the fact I save time lapses now and everything means that it takes forever to save shit now.
Because if we start with this, because if you do that, then that one has to go back. We'll start with that for now. It's fine. I'm not gonna bother with this right now.
What's behind it? I forgot. But I design this guy. Yeah, the mouth, 2 lines, and then indents.
Oh, wait.
Oh, save, work, and stretch. Will do. Save. All right, stretching. Oh, I print a lot of my stuff. I make posters. I make some stuff posters. I have it printed. I have a portfolio of posters I made for myself. And I don't think any of them so far are good enough to actually sell yet. But eventually, I already have an LLC and everything set up and online marketplace. So I just have to pretty much turn it on and I'll be ready to sell stuff once I'm happy enough with my art to sell it. But I also have to find a way to market it. And I can't even market my fucking Twitch channel. So I don't know how I'm supposed to market that.
Oh. Probably should have posted like on Twitter that you were gonna go live, and or not Twitter, but like Blue Sky, and be like, yeah, going live. This is the animation I was doing and stuff. Dang.
Should I post when I go live?
A lot of people do sometimes. Yeah, they talk like post like
I just don't want my whole
picture
channel to be spammed with me going live.
I think a lot of people do sometimes like separate
Lighting's
ones.
his favorite thing to do. I hate lighting.
Sometimes, anyways. Especially like if you're gonna draw like a specific picture or something, you could just make it a post about like what picture you're drawing or what animation you've done so far or something. That way you get to show off what you've drawn so far or what you've drawn in the past or something like that.
Well, I make posts where it's like I drew this on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen them.
But like for this, because you were continuing it, you could have continued it, but like or by showing off what you were gonna work on the stream. Technically, that'd probably be a good one too. But that's a lot of work to do.
Would be a good one.
Just posting before streams, or right before or during
I've
streams.
been forgetting to post. I used to be pretty good at posting every day. Like I did it like 2 weeks straight. I was really good at it, and I forgot last week, and I've not been back since. I need to get back to doing that.
The horse's leg is shrinking. I'm doing a stick figure version of it now. I say stick figure, but I mean I just stopped trying with the anatomy. Horses move in a lot of different ways.
Big pushable button. Would you guys push a big pushable button at the end of the world?
The end of the world? Like it's
Yeah, like the end of the world as in like you've gone past the border of
yeah.
reality and physics, and you found quite literally the edge of the world where beyond you is nothing but nothingness, no space or anything, and there's a bridge that goes really far out, like maybe like a mile out, or no, let's say like a quarter mile out into the void, and at the end of the bridge is a little station with a button on it.
I mean, at that point, you've just gone beyond everything. What else could go? What else could you do? Really, even at that point, there's a button, and you've gone beyond everything. I don't know, man.
Would you push the button?
I think I would push the button.
Question.
Like, you've already seen some crazy stuff. You've got to see more.
Everybody would press the button, apparently.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know who wouldn't at that point. You've done so much stuff.
To get that far. Can you imagine, like, that'd be where, like, the guy from Indiana Jones would be, where he's like, choose wisely, because he's like not been able to choose himself. It's just a guy sitting there right at the bridge. He's like a hermit who's been living out there debating whether or not he should push the button. Never able to make a decision.
We should watch the one show.
What one show?
I want to do it so bad. Annoy Rachel with the one show.
I don't know what that means.
Because it's called One.
You talking about like magicians?
No. It's called One.
Cloud One?
No, it's called One.
Oh! The YouTube thing?
Yeah?
We already watched a bunch of that. We watched the first episode of it.
Huh?
You don't remember when we were watching all the adult film stuff?
No.
You did with me.
That's not what I meant.
And then we were watching animations of it, and then you went and turned on the first episode to watch like well, then we watched like you pulled up the playlist and we watched the first part of the first episode. We didn't get through it. We watched like the first half. It was a short little thing, but we ended up getting distracted almost immediately because as we were watching it, you were like,
I showed you some of it. I wasn't playing it.
I guess we skipped through it, but still.
I was just showing you like little bits of it. Although I guess you said you was also gonna go watch it on your own.
That was at some point. Why would that piss off Rachel? Does Rachel really like?
No, because she goes, what are you talking about? And if it's something that just makes it so dumb if I repeat it, I do it until she gets it.
Because it's the one show.
It's the one show. And you're like, what show? The one show.
So that's your own version of Who's on First?
What is that?
Oh man, fucking kids these days don't know the precursors to comedy. Abbott and Costello.
Born before you.
The joke right there. That joke became super popular on media. And this. Here you go.
Why is everybody is going, oh my, and oh what? What's happening? Oh.
Yeah, Who's on First? What's on second? It's if you want to watch it, you could watch it. If you don't, I can explain to you what the actual skit is. It's an old skit. And it's just that. It's just misunderstanding is the joke. I don't know who's on third. Well, god damn it. I'm glad that Adam and Shadia's here. Cannot reenact it in person. In chat. It's funny. Are you watching it? Is that why you went
Yeah,
quiet?
sorry.
I assume by this point you've already seen the joke.
Yeah, I'm just watching the rest of it.
Going. There's only a couple Abbott and Costello bits that actually still stand up, that are still somewhat funny today. I guess that's gonna be the whole intro of it. Why'd that skip? Don't be skipping on me, please. Why skip 2? Why are you skipping 2? Why does Clip Studio do this to me?
Blinks. Watching that surprisingly made me sleepy.
It's old TV. Old TV just does that.
I think also because I just stopped doing anything. Might as well.
Oh, here we go. Animation playback settings. Render before starting playback. There we go.
Hello, Zero.
Didn't do it. Didn't fix it. Howdy, Zero. Look at that. I think she came to my stream first this time. Usually he's on your stream first. What do you think about that?
You stole my own Canadian Florida man follower.
Your own friendly neighborhood Canadian
Yeah.
Florida man. Get it fucking right. That's why he left you.
Yawns deeply. Dig. I don't know what my least favorite is. I like lines, but I don't know if it's my favorite. I really like colors. Coloring and stuff is pretty good. Lines is really fun. Shading's okay. It can be really fun, but it's also maybe not my favorite, so maybe shading, but I do really like it sometimes. Depends on the picture, I guess.
That's random. It still randomly skips things.
I do hate coming up with the actual picture itself and where things go and stuff with poses.
So my favorite things, in complete opposition to random, is concept, sketching, and composition. Like creating this stuff, like coming up with it and everything is my absolute favorite part of the art process. That's why I have so much world building. My least favorite part is actually finishing shit.
So we
It's
should
always
just do
satisfying when it
trading.
gets finished. But I hate like lining and rendering and shading especially and all of that. I don't like. I like perspective and stuff. Perspective, poses, fashion, clothing, character design, silhouettes, all that stuff I love. Backgrounds I'm not a huge fan of yet. I'm trying to get better at it.
I want to get good at backgrounds.
This
This sounds so fun.
I don't do backgrounds. If you've seen any of my art, it's always like some weird void space that I put them in because it's easier than doing backgrounds and it looks cool and vibey.
I don't do them, really. But, like, I like them in theory, separately, I guess. It's just because I think it's hard to merge them together. Expressions are fun.
Skipped another frame again. What is up with this shit? Skipping frames.
I think about here is where this. I could have cut it. Am I wrong? I am wrong. There's different versions of the way horses run. And I know one of them is the.
Yes, it doesn't divide evenly with the number of frames. It'll skip things. So 53. That's all it is. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh, that's the dragon.
But yeah. So if I do.
Oh, I got a hydration and a thing. Thank you for feeding the dragon. Oh.
So I need to change to 5340. I need to add.
This is
10 frames.
my stick figure version. This is a real horse. If I was drawing a real horse, except for I know it's got like way too big and funky proportions because I wasn't allowed to look at a reference for some strange reason. I can't entirely. Frick, I just deleted the whole thing I drew on that frame. Nailed it, brought it back. I wonder why. Yeah, it's crazy. It would be more like this one right here is the front, and this one is like is it? Cause like they go bump.
So I found out the issue, Brandon, with the entire thing.
Huh.
One single comment that one guy left was that if you don't have a total number of frames evenly divisible by the frame rate, it'll chop it up and you'll skip frames. And the second I went and added 10 frames to the end of it, because mine didn't divide evenly, all of my chopping solved. I didn't know that was a thing, but in case you want to know, that's a thing.
Interesting. That's good. I'm probably gonna immediately forget that. That sucks though, because it's probably pretty good. I'll take it to a point where I just draw horses and poses that I've drawn before, and then I just merge them together. Clip Studio Paint for us both.
Yeah. I have the 3EX. I have it on the bottom of my stream if you want to see all the specifics of it. I put in the stuff I use section, all these, just in case you want to know. So I don't have to remember it. Yeah, doing expressions, Shadios, that's what I need to learn how to do. I don't do expressions very well, and I would like to.
I just forgot how to draw entirely. Alright, we're gonna take a horse break. Alright, take a break from horses. Apparently. And expressions are pretty fun. I want to be really, I like them.
It's skipping again. Why? I thought we solved it.
I think it just lags.
Oh, is it because I'm not starting? I see what's happening. So I have to start on a fucking section that's divisible. This is crazy. No, it's not that one. It's the one before. No, this frame just stopped working.
I'm so sorry.
22. I feel like I'm doing, what's the fucking one inventory called? I can't remember what they're called anymore in Homestuck. The one where the dude, you have to like add up the fucking vowels.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. I don't know
I feel
what
like I'm doing.
I'm trying to find something to draw. I have so many things to work on that I should be working on. Hutch. And when's Hutch to dance, everybody? I'm not working on the Starstruck thing. I should be. I should, but I can't. Oopsies, I spin too hard. No.
So now this frame's decided to be the one that doesn't work.
I've seen so many like sheets that people have done where they're like, this is what a character would look like if their eyes squint. This is what a character would look like if you squint and move their brow up. This is what it would look like if you did this, and all the different combinations. It's very interesting. I don't know. I don't think that's as relevant as it could be. I liked to do what's it called? Like the expression memes are really fun. You just draw your character in different expressions that other people have drawn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try one of those. I need to find one of my OCs that can actually have multiple expressions.
Yeah, we
I have a
were
lot of things that are
gonna
like
do those together.
Masked.
We picked some out, didn't we? I haven't. When we picked out the memes for each other to do, our memes.
We never did expression ones. We just did the clothing one.
Well, we were going to do them like separately, but we were working on the other one like at the same time. So I was gonna next time we were working on it, but we never did because I don't remember why we took a break from doing the memes. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. But because we were working on them like at the same time, so it's like next time we were in the call together, I was gonna be like, give me a list of some of your characters and I'll pick expressions for them, and you pick out some of mine and give them expressions.
Like, I want to do a full, like, you know how they have like the 100 expression sheets where you're only supposed to pick a few? I want to do like a full 100 of a character. Just sketches, not like things, just enough to show the expression. I can try to do Hutch, but the problem is Hutch can't not smile. That's part of the curse of the shadow imps or whatever. So it'd be hard to do a lot of the expressions.
But then you just have to try to find out how to do them while he's not smiling and still make it look right.
Well, that's what the suit's for. If you've seen a lot of the emotes,
that's true.
That's why he covers his mouth and stuff when he does certain things. The eyes used to not be able to bend either, but I've changed it to where the eyes can move so that he could be more expressive. Because without the eyes or the mouth, it became impossible.
You got a Spider-Man
it. Doing fine. I love characters like that.
Very tired.
I can show you a lot of my guys. Like here, my Ono sees, like you have this guy, where you can't even see anything on him. Or where's my Hutch reference sheet?
Love characters like which parts? Oh, like they can't do things.
Yes, that's Hutch. It's my guy, but he covers his face, so you'll see like when he's like embarrassed and stuff, he pulls it down, and whenever he can reveal the mouth part if he wants to cover the eyes to be more sinister. But this doesn't show it, but I changed it to where you can actually bend his eyes for certain emotes and stuff. You do that. What were you saying, Random? I was just showing him because he was asking.
Because of like the one character that has just one eye. I don't know, it's really fun trying to figure out how to make the right expressions with just one friggin' eye.
Well, I have my main character for my comic has one of his eyes gone. He's only got the left eye. He hides the right eye for a lot of it because the actual lore behind it is that the character is supposed to represent overcoming depression, but the character technically never overcame it, but he was saved from it alternatively, where he ended up blowing his brains out and he blew off the whole right side of his face, but he's basically blocked out that part of his memory and pretends it never happened. And then towards the end of it, when he's fighting like the villain in the first arc, the villain points out that he's just a fool and he doesn't have the strength to like protect anybody because he doesn't have the strength to protect himself. And the main character's forced to come with terms of his past and what he did, and that he's grown past it. And once he finally takes his hat off and reveals that like he's a zombie and that half his face is destroyed, he gets like basically his inhibitions go away and all the things that were holding him back release, and then he's able to fight with his full strength, and it's a whole thing. And that's what kickstarts the whole thing, is you don't really understand how strong he is until that moment. And I really like it. He always smiles in the beginning because if he like has like a thrill for combat and stuff, and he loses himself in it because he uses combat to distract himself from the harsh realities. So as long as he's in some kind of exciting situation, the only thing he can't stand is like not being somewhere where he can just kind of answer it with his fists, because he doesn't want to like deal with emotions and stuff because his head takes him to dark places. Yeah, that's him. I know I have another one of him. That's another one of him. I have some other stuff, but I was actually drawing this comic. I have the first 5 chapters kind of done. That's what he looks like. This is not what he actually looks like, but it's part of it. But he only ever shows this eye shown. I have him on Art Fight. He has a lot more references there. Sometimes I put stitches on him since he's a zombie. Later in the thing, he gets stitched together, and eventually he has a machine friend that ends up like a robot friend that ends up dying, and he's a samurai robot, and he has to keep the sword. Oh yeah. A ramble channel for yourself in your Discord? Why? What would I do in a ramble channel? I don't often type things on public Discords. Unless people are just talking about posting things. Sorry, Random, if I was talking over your point. Ask about characters lore? If you want to. Here, where's the time intersection? I have my own little section. I can have a Q&A. Here, I'll make it a form, because I like the forms a lot in Discord. Should I call it an OC lore AMA or an OC lore Q&A? What do you think, Random?
I don't know. I don't think
AMA is ask me anything, but Q&A is question and answer. What do you think applies more?
Probably Q&A. I don't know. I don't think it matters too much.
All right. Well, you've now been the one that decides that, so it's your fault if people think it's dumb.
Mm. You just made the text version of a play of the that I imagined in my head when I did that. Thank you. I don't think that was a purpose, but I can pretend it was. I don't know why I would. That's weird. Sorry. I'm asleep right now, actually. Fun fact.
Yeah, she hasn't woken up yet in 13 years. Her family's really worried on the outside, but she's stuck in this dream world with all of us.
You guys are just all in my head. Sorry. For everything that you have had dreamed bad. It's all just a nightmare.
Yeah, there you go. Can I pin it and lock it? And then we'll move this. Close this. Interval nightcat. Nightcats. What do you need, right? That's just like the normal people. Yeah, sure. All right, so now it should be open. So if you want to ask me questions, you can. It works. I don't have this one yet, neither do I. I have a blank spot. That makes sense. I think what to do. How's it going, Random? What are you working on now?
I just doodling.
Just doodling.
I was gonna draw different versions of random. I think I can't remember why though. I was gonna do outfit things though.
You should 100% concept some outfits for Random.
Outfits I own. More dumb stuff.
You could.
Not dumb stuff, but just because I thought it'd be fun, just to try to colorize them into her stuff. And also because I want to make a human version of her, or at least a humanoid-ish version. And it's interesting. I don't know.
It'd be cool if I start actually publishing my comic. I could use the AMA to actually put things at the end of comics. That'd be kind of fun. I love it when comic authors do that. Madam, that's our next challenge once we're ready for another one.
I don't even know if this one's gonna get very far for me personally, but I'm here for it. I'll be the support person trying to do it and not finishing it. I wanted. Oh, I forgot I was animating Hutch.
For this.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Get the sketches for it.
Because I don't think we're actually gonna finish this. Because this is a lot of work. This is a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. I think it would have been a lot easier for me if I actually had an idea of what I was doing, and I don't have any of them ready for that yet.
No, I didn't either, but I know that that's not your part of art that you do. You're more of a renderer. This is like the part I'm good at, is just creating things. I can create worlds in seconds.
Because I want something specific that I can't for the life of me actually recall, but I can like tell it's in there somewhere, and it's really irritating.
That's why I set up my database so that I had all my stuff. So I had to stop remembering it all. I have the story and lore of like most of my worlds memorized, but it's a huge pain in the ass if like I need a specific small character's name and I don't want to remake their name or something, but I don't know where the original sketch of them is. So the database comes in handy.
I have too many ideas at points and then I can't always write them down either. It would be amazing if I had something that I could just instantly catalog anything I wanted to from brain straight to something.
Yeah, sometimes when I have like a huge complex idea, I like will run out of the idea before I finish typing it all in, and I'll just have to deal with the fact that half the idea will forever be lost, but the first half's still there because I will remember it.
I just want to be able to just immediately ramble something and then it's just written down as soon as it comes to my brain.
Speech to text things.
They do, but it's not like I can go to Cole's and be like, hold on real quick, in the middle of the register.
Well, you can if you had the confidence to, because you can get your, what I used to do is I used to do voice memos on my phone. If I need to just say it real quick, and I typed it later.
That would be insane, because the only reason I'm up the registers is when there's like a bunch of people. It would be so quick.
I've definitely done that while taking someone's order before at Waffle House. You've been like, 1 second. Ever struggle telling a story linearly?
Paying attention.
What's up? Not really. So, Shadios, the way I do it, when I'm trying to tell a story linearly and not, I like find it more fun to play with it a bit. But when you're trying to go linear, I just basically set up, it's like animation. I set up the keyframes, the milestones I know for a fact I want them to hit, and then I realistically think about first you have to think about what path they'd have to take to get there, or like physically what path they would have to take, and then what would be in that path. Then I basically like acting like I put myself in the perspective of the character going through there, and then how would they react to those things I've placed in that path, and that's how you can kind of get there, is how I do it. So I have big huge milestones or like emotional moments or things I want, and then I create the physical path, I put the physical obstacles in, and then I go through and then role play as the characters in my head to see what they would do. And that's how I do that. But it's something that I struggled with a lot. I've watched a lot of things and practiced a lot with writing and learning how to do all of that. And I've made a lot of failed comics and stories that I keep to myself and will never share. And
you have so much of your brain available.
Yeah, well, I need it. I need it really bad. That's why I've been afraid to take drugs my whole life. If I wasn't creative like I was, I would have already been probably dead in a ditch somewhere.
If he wasn't creative like he was?
Yeah, if I wasn't creative like I am.
Oh, creative.
It's the only reason I'm able to stay alive, pretty much. It's the only thing that keeps me sane, the only thing that prevents me from doing bad decisions. So I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm alive and well enough to be able to create my stuff I want to make.
Hmm.
Yeah, but for whole stories, I don't know what you mean, Shadios. That's what it is. You come up with the milestones. I come up with the. Usually, it's a lot of drafting at first, where I basically sit there and just think about it in the background and write down arcs or story moments I want to make sure I have. And then once I have all the things where it's like too much for a story, lots of times I have to cut things out that I come up with, and then I do exactly what I told you. You just do it at a bigger scale and you break it down. It's like animation. You do your keyframes, and then you have like the in betweens. Usually, you do like the middle ones, and then you do the small ones in between there. So this is like a single like scene, right? And then this would be like an arc or an act, and then this would be the whole story. So then you just do this a whole bunch of times where you basically get your story and you get your big huge things that change everything or the big changing moments in the story, and then you just work your way back and it'll just develop. That's how I do it, but it's the only way I can think of doing it. I jump around and making stuff for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You jump around and you come up with all these concepts, and then once you have enough of them to make a story or enough of them to start thinking about it, that's when I settle down and I'm like, here's all the things I have. I have this. It's like a bag. If you take back that one thing I was just drawing, I have a bag full of marbles that I've come up with. All this absolute nonsense that doesn't mean anything, but it's all a bunch of cool stuff that I know I want. That's when you then put them in order of how would these actually happen. Like if I have a whole cast of characters, which order would it realistically make sense for him to run into? And then I create the worlds that those characters would be in or the environments, and then you work your way back. Jumping around and creating all the concepts is the first step. When you actually want to go set up the linear story, I don't think anybody just sets up a story linearly from the get go. But when you start fully developing it, you start like really rendering the story is the only way I can think of say it, where you start creating like grunt enemies and small details and stuff. I create those usually linearly after I've now drafted what I want the story to be, because then I have to actually come up with the first stuff first to be able to draw it first. And then usually my earlier stuff is a lot more developed because that's the stuff I'm actively working on. But usually like the major fights, the major characters or whatever, I come up with kind of randomly and sporadically while I'm just drawing and doing things. Okay, I'm gonna go that far back. That's fine. First chirp of the morning bird. What do you mean by that? Right, characters is people first, not characters. I don't know what you mean by that. This could just be a situation. There's some things that I do that I just have done for so long since I was in like elementary school that I don't think about it, and there's a chance it might be one of those situations.
like you just make like people, but you don't like put much like storyline to the characters. They're just like people.
Because
You
that's what I
just
realized a
focus
lot
on
of
the
artists online do.
character building of the personality and etc. and stuff.
All of my characters, I usually create like 2 to 3 concepts of characters where I like how they look, and if I like them enough, I will then I'll turn their concept into a world, and then I'll develop a story around it, and then I'll create more characters that would fit into that world, and then I create an actual story. Like I don't, so I create characters, then I'm like, these guys are cool. Where would they be? I create the world, and then I'm like, I like this world a lot. What other characters can I put in it? And I keep going back and forth between that until eventually I have like this whole world built with all these guys and all these rules and all this technology and languages and background and countries or whatever. And then after that, I then go, well, now I have all this shit. I might as well make a story of it.
I feel like I kind of almost get what you mean, perhaps, maybe. Just a
Oh,
bit,
I see what
because
he's
I have
saying.
a bunch of
Tons of content, there's
characters.
stories. So what you're saying is you don't have cohesion, Shadios. You have characters with stories, but you don't have any cohesive connection between them. It's just characters in a world. Because I have a world similar to that where it's more of a collection of short stories with different characters in a world rather than just an overarching story throughout the whole world. What I've learned for that, even a lot of my favorite characters, is yeah. So I found for a lot of that, I know stuff like Homestuck. Oh, howdy, Kiba. But Shadios, if you want to see how to handle multiple character stories in a thing, Homestuck's pretty good at that from what I've seen so far. Because it keeps a number of protagonists active and feeling like protagonists rather than just one character. But the I don't know. A lot of my knowledge comes from just watching tons and tons of shows and reading tons and tons of stories, to the point where I just do it like it makes sense. I do it by feel. It's like with art and animation and all this. I just do it by feel. If it feels wrong, I redo it until it feels right. So I can't help as much as I'd like to. But I'd say sometimes you got to just either make multiple stories in one world, or you have to admit that some of your characters fit better as background characters, despite how much you like them. Most of my Sonas and main OCs and stuff that I really like aren't the main characters of any of the stories. They're just background characters because that's what they are. That's what they fit as. So I don't fully know what you're saying, but that's as much help as I can give, I think.
I think stuff like that's kind of why I've always wanted to make animations of my characters, just random, like, animations like people do. Like
There's the
animatics
fact that
AMVs,
animations.
because you can just take snippets out of the stories of them, and most of my characters, they don't really have a set beginning and end of anything. They just kind of exist and live out their life. And, like, chill.
Oh, is that what he's saying?
I don't
The
know.
characters have stories, but they don't have a set beginning and end to their stories. I think random you just made his question make sense to me.
Hmm.
If
It's
that's the case, keep in mind that you don't have to explain to the audience absolutely everything. You just pick the most interesting part of their life, the thing that made them who they are, the trial that they overcame that changed their personality the most, and make that into the story. Everything before can be explained with context clues. And don't do a bunch of I don't like exposition. I usually just leave it all vague and reader has to piece it together. And then everything after can be in other stories with hints and stuff. But the audience doesn't need to know the entire lore of your character. That's one of the biggest things about writing, is having mystique in there and allowing people to draw their own conclusions or discover things adds a sense of reward to people where it makes them like your stuff a lot more than if you just told them straight up. Like, just because your character has a bunch of interesting story doesn't mean it all needs to be told. Tell the parts you want to tell. And then if you really need to, like if you really want to tell them, you could always create like kind of like lexicon afterwards where you have full descriptions of everything for people who are interested enough to see that. But a lot of people don't want to read a big huge story like that anyways. So yeah, just pick the interesting part of your character and do that. The most interesting part, the part that you think people will find the most exciting to read and that describes them and their personality the best and that changes them the most and makes them who they are. Sometimes it's coming of age stuff. Sometimes it's somebody who's old and they're realizing that their life was like not worth it this whole time, and they're now like seeking out to find something more exciting, or whatever it is. But almost everybody has some kind of event that changes their life the most. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Howdy, Iris. I was taking notes. I don't know. I spent a lot of time studying stories, but I've never fully published or submitted one. So keep in mind, I could just be spewing absolute bullshit. But I've spent like when I say a lot of time studying, I spent a lot of time studying, like years and years. I used to finish my homework in class and stuff just so I could study. I used to sit there and research things during school hours and get yelled at by teachers and shit for it. Like I've been doing nothing but studying character design and story design pretty much my entire life. So I hope I'm gonna be good at it eventually. But unless something, I'm a perfectionist. I need to stop being one and just release something. Exactly. Yeah, Black Iris fully writes. I think what it is most likely, Shadios, is something that I encountered a lot when I was younger. And it's kind of what I was saying, but it's just when you have characters and you've spent all that time developing a lot of their stuff, you want to tell their whole story. You feel like it's all worthwhile because you designed it to be worthwhile. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of pick through it and decide which things are worth and not worth keeping. If you eventually get like established and stuff and you get like one or two successful stories, you'll eventually have like an editor or somebody who can tell you what is and isn't worth keeping, and that becomes a lot easier. Sometimes you have to disagree with them, but still. But for now, you just have to decide and sort of it's the what's the thing? Killing the darlings. That's what the writers call it. Some things just don't make for compelling stories, despite how interesting they may be or how much you might like the concept or anything. It might not fit in the story or something else. You could always save it for something else later, but some things just don't need to exist. There's no need. It doesn't make the story better. It's the problem with writing stories is you're not. It sounds like you're doing world building and you're creating characters and creating full characters with complex lives, and that's not what a story is. That's why stereotypes and caricatures exist. There's ways to pull it off like that, but keep in mind you'll be limiting your audience, and it won't be what you think it is. I find that to be that's the fun puzzle of creating a cohesive story. It's just that because I have to go through all of these pages of lore and personality and stories and everything of these characters and find, what, even though no matter how much I like the idea, the concept, what is not worth having, so I can create a cohesive narrative and storyline that makes sense and works within the scope of a beginning and end. It's also the classic advice I've heard a lot of authors say, where a lot of people ask, where do I start and end the story and stuff? And usually, you want to start right when the action starts. Don't like spend time beforehand building it up. Like you can build it up if that's your goal. If you're trying to build tension, that's a whole different task. But you're still starting where the action starts, even if you're building tension. Like you're starting when the person discovers that there's something to be worried about or something, or maybe a tiny intro, but still. Like if your story's about two people fighting, you don't start beforehand and have like training montages and stuff unless your story is about the training. If it's something like Rocky or like $1 Million Baby, those aren't about the fighting. They're about the story and the training behind the fighting, and that's where the narrative is. $1 Million Baby starts when the character starts interacting with the characters. It doesn't start with her life. It doesn't even show you her family history until like the end of the fucking movie. It only shows you like her as her person. It doesn't even describe her. You should watch $1 Million Baby. That's a really good movie for learning how to do character plots and how to start and end character stories. because Million Dollar Baby is almost perfect in that regard. It's one of the best movies for that because it starts when her story starts about what affects her the most in her life, the most eventful thing in her life, and it ends when that story ends. Not her story, but that story. Because a story is not a character. A story is something that a character goes through. And characters can have multiple stories, but a story very rarely, unless it's like Forrest Gump, goes from the beginning to the end of someone's life. It's like it's a whole different thing. But either way, that's my advice. Watch Million Dollar Baby, take notes, watch it multiple times if you need to. I'm sure there's more of them, even better ones, but that's the one I can think of that does it really, really well. Because it does exactly what you're talking about, when to start and end a character. Because Million Dollar Baby, the main character has a really complex history and backstory and everything, and it doesn't tell you any of it until the very end. And even then, it doesn't tell you a lot of it. It only hits towards a lot of it, and it only tells you what's needed for the story. It hides a lot of details behind background details and things characters may say and context clues. And it's fucking. I never thought about it before, but it is really good for that, isn't it? God damn. I might have to rewatch it myself. Yeah, it's going to be a super painful process. That's probably why you're asking the question, is because you're doing what I do, and you ask because you don't want to know the answer. You want to hear an answer different from what you know is true. Because that's what I do a lot. I'll ask people, like the other day when I was like, should I take a 2-hour game break? I know the answer is no. I want to ask to try to see if I can get a different answer, to see if there's a different possibility. But at the end of the day, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be how it is. Especially if you're, because it sounds like you did the same thing I do, where you make the characters really complex. You add a lot to their stuff. My more recent stories, now that I've gotten to that point, is a lot better. But a lot of my old stories have entire. It could be like their own several books. Like if I put all my characters' story into like a library, like I have a single story that could probably be maybe 40 books. But if I really break it down intelligently and try to make a good story out of it, it would realistically only be maybe 5 books if I'm lucky, most likely 4. It's just that much extra content that's just completely unneeded and doesn't do anything other than satisfy my urge to create. It doesn't build the narrative, it doesn't effectively explain anything, it doesn't improve the character. It's just interesting things that happen in the middle that I really think are fun, but at the end of the day, they don't help the story progress at all. They don't do anything other than just be fun things I like. An alternative. Well, thank you. Yeah, have a good stream. Or not. I should have a good stream. It's like when people say happy birthday, I say happy birthday back because I don't know what else to say. Thank you, I guess. But still, I'm glad I could help in any way I could. I don't know how much my advice is worth because I don't really know what I'm doing, but I hope it's worth something. Either way. I wasted way too much time. I just concepted a character for a sketch. Random, what are the odds that we actually finish this fucking thing?
I have not drawn on it. I don't.
I think the odds are not. It's not gonna happen.
You, I think, could probably get something done to show off, though, for sure. I do believe in you.
We watch the VOD tomorrow. Yeah, that's no problem. I don't have much more to say. The only other advice I was going to say is if you make a game, games can have a lot of extra fun bits in them. If you want to have all those fun bits in them, games are basically a lot of the extra parts of stories that are unnecessary, but you put them in there anyways because it gives players ways to experience it more. But other than games, I don't know how to interact more with the characters in the world. Because even like comics, you don't want to draw on unless it's like side plots or OVAs or something like a manga, or not manga, like an anime. Things that don't actually, they aren't the story, they're just extra bits, short stories and stuff. It does suck though. Join the animation challenge when you go home. Yeah, filler episodes. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, Iris, is there is the main story, and it is fun to look. Like when I watch One Piece, I wish there was more, like, not filler, but I wish there was more bits where it was just the Straw Hats having fun and hanging out. But I think that any part of a story should develop some level of narrative, even like filler episodes and stuff. Like it should build upon some part of the story or flesh out some part of the story. It shouldn't just be thing. Like if you watch a filler episode and all it is, imagine you're watching, like, I don't know, like Naruto. And one of the filler episodes is just Naruto reading a book for 30 minutes, sitting there, and at the end he goes, "That was a good book." It's a garbage story. It's not going to be good. But yeah, character attachment and stuff. If you watch a filler episode and it's Naruto hanging out with a character he never does, like Kiba, and it's him and Kiba going on an adventure and learning, and you shows you a kind of dynamic that the main story will never show you because they don't. There's no situation where they should be together. But as a filler episode, they're just hanging out together and having fun and doing something that they would never normally do, and they learn that you learn about how they would interact and how their dynamic would function and all that. That becomes really good. If you're gonna kill someone off. But you gotta be careful with that, Devin. If you make it too obvious, it'll make the death not as fun.
Not
make sure if you're gonna kill off a
as
character,
fun.
Well, if it's a death, you gotta make it fun. You gotta make it something.
You were making fun of me earlier for something I said, but that just sounds terrible yourself. Joking.
That is fun.
I'm just lightly bullying.
If you joke, you shouldn't just go, "I'm just joking" at the end.
But I need you to know this deeply inside of your soul.
If anything, you should at the end just go, "By the way, I'm being dead fucking serious. That was mean." Because then that'd be way funnier than saying I was joking.
But consider this, that'd just be mean.
It'd be funny though. It's like Looney Tunes. The funniest bit is all that matters. The rule of funny beats the rule of cool, in my opinion. Oh look, I've decided to curse myself with some fucking brazers. The fucking fire pits. Because I have to animate six fires. Because they look cool. This isn't more the rule of cool beats the rule of funny. Well, I guess it depends on the story. Rule of cool definitely depends greatly on the story, doesn't it? But still. It's probably just all the One Piece I watch. That's Luffy's whole thing, is that he's just free and he does things that entertains him rather than things that always make sense or whatever else. Why I love it so much. Just ultimate freedom. Now I drive to work. Yeah, fan service, I guess. I don't like fan service though. I skip beach episodes normally. And it's always annoying to me when the beach episode has some important thing. Oh yeah.
What if you thought it was just gonna be like something like that, and it just ends up becoming straight up horror instead? And then it just resets afterward like nothing happened. And then that was it. That was the filler episode. And it's the only episode like that for the rest of the show.
That'd be pretty good. That's what I would do. That'd be fun. Hey, random. Did you want to see mine before I actually finish it? Because I finished the first section of it.
Yeah, I'll see it.
I don't know how long it is. Here, let me divide the frames by 30 to see how far I got. So it's basically 1200. I think that's a minute or something, isn't it? Divided by 30. 40. Was that 40 seconds? It's 30. Yeah, so I got 40 seconds deep. I've got 2 minutes left. I'll share my screen so it's easier and you
Thank
can hear
you.
it. Not that. There you go.
Okay. Wait, let me make sure I can have volume.
Kiba, pick a short song. Do yourself a favor. You might actually finish something if you do so.
Hey, I have a couple 7-minute songs if you want one of those. I said in complete contrast.
Are you watching?
Joking. Yeah. Wait, I don't know if can hear it. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. Okay, fixed it.
Right.
Mm.
That's how far I got.
That's super freaking awesome.
Just 40 seconds of build up.
It's still really fun. You've got a bunch of junk in it, but it's not junk. I just like the word junk.
Yeah, it's just hot trash. That's random Sergio.
Yeah, you said to be more mean because it would be funny, so.
Yeah, it is funny. That's too bad, Devin. You guys didn't even hear. I didn't turn on the stream, the audio of it. I'm gonna show you guys once I finish, I think. Should I show them? Here, I'll put it on stream. All right, Devin, we'll do one more.
Sneaky peeks.
I'll give you the actual audio of it. So I'll pause Spotify. I think it's game audio is what I have it set to. All right, so let me check to see if you guys have it. You guys have it. All right, here we go.
Your hands are tasty. That's gonna be so fun.
That's all we got.
It's gonna be so fun.
Because of that's all I have for now. But eventually I'll have more done.
I'm gonna have to eat it when it's done, though.
And then I'll have to lose it. But basically, the whole point of this, because everything I've been trying to make sure everything has meaning. The problem is the intro is such a pain in the ass because of how it sounds. So the first part is your initial character introduction, and it shows you each of these are hinting towards their weapon types they're forced to use. So one guy has a slingshot, the chick has the gloves, he's got the flashlight, and then she's got a skateboard. But it also shows you their personality as it does it. And then this part shows you the initial challenge they're gonna have to face in the nightmare world, where it's their alters, their other selves from the other world. That's what they desire. Like, it's basically their aspirations of who they wish they were, personified as a monster that they have to basically defeat if they wish to continue. And then it shows each of them and their initial things that they're hiding from, while also showing you part of what the monster does. So it shows how their reactions are to it. So one guy's basically just falling victim to it. She's hiding from it. He's, embracing it and trying to find a way to defeat it. And then she's just straight up kicking its ass because that's what she wants to do. And then it then shows hints at what their actual thing is, where this is them kind of getting to the nightmare world, traveling through it. And then this thing stalking them to kind of hint towards future issues and stuff. That's just them walking. And then this is a mask from, basically there's a whole nother dimension that's going to be a thing, where these guys are, what's their names? Did I come up with it yet? They work for the Redolix. but I think are they just Redolix? No, I was gonna change them to Tixamorphs, but I like Redolix more. But these guys are basically there's another dimension that one guy, the king at the end, he's in charge of, and he sends these guys out to capture the people because anybody who has the potential to travel between worlds and absorb the powers, and basically they do these whole things where they can summon artifacts, they can fuse with dead altars, which are themselves from parallel dimensions or other dimensions, or they can fuse with each other. There's three different forms. But the guy who runs one of the worlds basically found a way to fuse the entire world into himself and take control of everything. And he uses these masks which absorb like dark energy, which is what this is. It's the dark energy leaking out and then starting to form up into a thing. And he hunts them down because they're called anomaliths, is the term I've decided to coin for the people. And what this is them blowing up a diner and surrounding one of the guys that ends up becoming like a major background character where he's a criminal he's kind of on the run in a diner in the middle of the desert, and these things try to hunt him down, but he survives and awakens his thing because there's a here it's artifactation where basically you can summon a weapons based off of your desires, but you can only summon them when you're quote unquote in your element. So you have to be doing something you're extremely passionate and excited about. And his passion and excitement is the idea of like killing because he's a murderer. That's what he is. That's why he's on the run. So the second these guys show up and everybody dies, he gets super excited and basically transforms before the explosion can kill him and tears them all to shreds. And then this is the king that runs it all, where he finally found the end of the world of his own world and is activating a device that allows other people to travel. He's trying to create chaos so that the people who are the anomaliths can find each other and he can use it to collect each other. And then he's trying to basically fuse those worlds into his world. So he's basically luring other people to other dimensions to get stronger so that he can harvest them for their strength and use it to then conquer all the worlds because he wants to be the king of everything. And these are the side ones. So this is the murderer guy flipping a knife and laughing, and then there's a dad who gets pulled into it with his daughter, but his daughter ends up dying, and that's why she's a ghost there. It shows the dad artificiated. I don't know what to call it yet, but it's him with his armor, and then it's him with his armor right there, where he has the glasses and shit. And then this is a researcher chick who's trying to basically solve it all, but she ends up getting pulled into it too, and she ends up getting corrupted by the guy. And if we go forward, she becomes one of the Vitalics, where she's like a sentient one, and she ends up finding a way to break free from his control. So she's one of the only people with access to his dimension. It becomes a crucial character later because since she's able to travel between worlds with the mask and actually exist everywhere, then she basically ends up helping the main characters, even though she can't save herself anymore because she's already corrupted and is part of his legion, basically. She can use her strength to then search and basically go into his private world and help him all with information and stuff. And that's him walking forward again. And then these are the kings or the guardians. These are the equivalent of the king for the other worlds. This is the one of Frightmorn, the one that controls nightmares, the king of nightmares or whatever. And this is his castle and his throne room. And then this is the queen of dreams, and this is her little like forest kind of situation that she's in. And it's kind of hinting towards the other powerhouses that they're going to have to eventually deal with in whatever way. And there's title. I streamed it, and it's the king finally realizing he found what he's looking for, the way to kind of cause the chaos and control it all. Gets real excited about it, and then hits it. And then the lyrics start, and then the story starts. But now I have to figure out what the story's going to be, because I had to come up with all that just to draw all this. And now I'm excited about the story. Now I kind of just want to draw a comic of it, but I've got to make an animation, and that's what I've made. That's That's the explanation for anybody curious.
That sounds super awesome.
So now I've got to come up with what this is. I know I want like the second one to be the main four getting sucked into the realm, because the main four people, it's if I go back to here, where are they? That's not the main four. That's the dad and the daughter and them.